Hey guys, and welcome, Quack Quack. We are here today for some epic competitive multiplayer battles. I'm super excited to delve into this. We're going to be following the events of the mighty Quack regime. I better open up a screen blocker actually. I always forget when I'm not running the game that you can see people's builds. So let's pop that. Let's not do that one. Let's do this one. There we go. Look at that beautiful screen blocker right there. We're going to be following Team Quack today on their adventures on Intestity's ladder. Should be good fun. I believe we're going to have games today from Wicked D, Hanadins, Ninja Penguin, hopefully some games as well from Energize and maybe Captellus a little bit later on. We've got a mixture of live games, mixture of replays, basically just delving into a load of competitive tournament battles, because I thought it'd be pretty good fun to do that for a couple of hours. And up first, we're actually going to be witnessing a best of three between Wicked D and Tidesman, I believe his name is. Let's have a little double check. It is indeed Tidesmen, which is pretty damn cool. So it is going to be Skaven versus High Elves. I absolutely love it. So let's quickly correct the scoreboard here. I wasn't 100% sure who was going to be playing. So let us open up the names and change it. You know what we'll have? We'll call him Tide for now, just so we don't block out the screen too much. We'll call the one on the left. Should be able to fit in Wicked D quite comfortably. There we go. Now, today all the games are going to be best of threes in a competitive tournament setting. Some of the replays are just kind of best of ones and so forth instead. I'm really excited to delve into this regardless. What's up, Blackthorn? How's it going, champ? As well as Revnov and CJ. Hope you guys are all good and chilling today. Gonna be good fun. Honestly, I'm excited just to watch some competitive games and have a bit of a blast. So, best of luck, lads. Excited to watch. Ready when you are. Cool stuff. So I'm going to be loading in. I'll get rid of the screen blocker and we can watch the beautiful madness unfold. It's the usual kind of like competitive pick and ban system, competitive setting as far as the unit caps and how they're done and the attack and roll and all that kind of juicy goodness. And I'm just excited to see Wicked D in action. I haven't seen many games from him in quite some time. Very talented multiplayer player. And he's one of those rare cookies as well, or rare duckies, I should say now, as he's a DBD member, who loves to bring the Skaven in competitive settings and is a really talented and scary Skaven player at that. Brings some pretty off-meta and off-the-wall builds, which often catches his opponent off guards and he's able to just punish them. But likewise, I don't know too much about Tide here, or Tidesman, or Tidesdemon, however he wants to go by, but I'm sure he's a very talented player and a member of RTK there. You got a feeling for a high elf victory? I mean, it'd be pretty cool to see them in action as well. Torx the Brass Ball. How's it going, champ? Hope you're all good today. And WWW coming in with the big cat. Now, I mean, in fairness, cat's probably quite good against Skaven. I don't think rats tend to fare too well against them. So let's get rid of this glorious screen blocker. Boop. There we go, and have a little look at the build. So for the mighty forces of Duck Sauce, aka Mr. Wicked D. I love the name Duck Sauce, by the way. That's actually pretty funny. We have a bucket ton of cheap and cheerful infantry, as to be expected from the Skaven. A mixture of Skaven slaves dotted all the way along, as well as Skaven slaves with spears and clan rats in the mix. Now, we do have a little bit of elite infantry, just to hold down the line, and that is going to be the glorious Council Guard. Now, you can never go too wrong with the Council Guard. Unbreakable troops in a faction like Skaven, who really struggle with leadership, is so goddamn juicy. We have Rattling Gunners, we have the Pit Fighters of Hell's Deep, we have Poison Wind Mortars, and Wolf Rats as well. Let's see if we can find anything more. So it looks like double Poison Wind Mortars, very good up against the High Elves in general, in my humble little ducky opinion. We do have a Mutant Rat Ogre, unfortunately not the Regiment of Renown, but a very powerful single entity, hugely underrated in my opinion. Very fast, hits like an absolute truck, though does not have the mass to pin in units of cavalry like normal Rat Ogres do. We have a Plague Priest here as well, coming with all the summons and the breath attacks as expected. An Assassin and Deathmaster Snicket. Yes, yes, stab, stab, kill, kill. Do all of the good things. Very excited to see the double Assassin boyos in action. Now, for the forces of the High Elves, we have some sneaky Vanguardian shenanigans in the form of Illyrian Reavers. And over in the distance, we also have another unit of Reavers as well. For the main battle line, it is Spearmen and Rangers. About as cheap and cheerful as you can get. Unfortunately, there are no cheap elves and there are no cheerful elves, but this is the closest they'll have to do. Spearmen guarding the flanks with the Rangers running down the mid. We then have a load of archers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 archers. That is a lot of bowfire coming in. And up in the skies, we have a double Arcane Phoenix pick. Absolutely love this play. This looks so badass. And they can really rip and cause a ton of terror in the lines of the Skaven. Also an Archmage of Fire with Burning Head and Fireball. I do think the Archmage of Fire is slightly overrated in this matchup because a lot of your Burning Heads are just going to be clearing out chaff. And it does very little damage to weapon teams. But hey, Fireball's always good. And the Law of Fire is also always very powerful. I think it's just something people need to consider at what are you going to be wiping out. Then again, there are Council Guard here, and that'll be some juicy damage onto them. Good day, everyone. What's up, Lex Gaming? How's it going? The age of the swan is over. All hail the duck. I agree. I agree. Hope to see some Wood Elf action today. Hopefully, man. I hope so. I hope so indeed. So much stuff on the Azure side. There's a pretty big armies. You don't normally see the High Elves fielding over 1,000 troops, though I must admit the Skaven still do outnumber them. The Vermintide is never ending, and it's almost impossible, if the Skaven player really wants to, that you'll be able to outnumber them unless they go super elite, which tends to not be too popular. So mortars are going to start opening up fire. It looks like they are currently aiming for the Arcane Phoenixes. Not going to get much damage there, lads, unfortunately, as all the shots do miss. However, the Rattling Gunners will rip in new one into the Arcane Phoenixes if they come a bit too close, and it looks like one is directly swooping in. This is a ballsy play. Look at the damage pouring in onto this fin. Oh my god, that is disgusting. Really nice work, but they are going to be able to drop down in their lovely little vortex. Mutant Rat Ogre and the Assassin crew float over here just in case the Arcane Phoenix wants to dive down. Unfortunately, a bit of a miss with its vortex ability. We do have some clan rats summoned in the front, looking to pin back the enemy as long as possible, and the mortars have opened up fire onto the archers. Very good targets. You can see when they connect, they apply that poison and really start doing some big damage. So the first little strike there by the High Elves unfortunately didn't go super well. However, in comes the cavalry. We're having them follow up here and trying to harass the back line, but the longer it takes them to do it, the more damage these poison mortars will do, and it is going to start being devastating unless the Elven archers close the gap a little bit more and start shooting them down. We have Reavers trying to counterpunch on this side, but likewise, Pit Fighters at Hell's Deep are going to bound in with joyful glee and slaughter the Reavers. We do get a Burning Head go down on Skaven slaves, but at the end of the day, they're just slaves. But it is going to open up a pocket or two for the Reavers to start to dive into. Now, the Arcane Phoenixes are having to fall back a little bit. The Rattling Gunners keeping them quite a way away from the main battle line as Plague Monks charge forward into the Rangers, as well as that glorious Plague Priest. And the Archers are not having a good day whatsoever. We have Wolf Rats upon them now as well, as those mortar strikes coming in, but good play by the Elvish player. He is moving up and actually targeting the Poison Wind mortars, which is 100% what you should be doing to try to drag them down. And in the back, the Arcane Phoenixes will cause all sorts of problems if this range core can be dealt with relatively effectively. In the front, though, we're seeing some Clan Rat summons. The Wolf Rats, a really good micro here by Wicked D, bound in between different arch units to try to shut them down. Clan Rats also pushing forward, and the Archers are going to start to struggle a little bit. I would say it is in favor just about at the moment in the favor of Skaven, but that can certainly be turned on its head. As you can see, the Rangers are starting to push into the back line now, and there's not that much to protect as the Phoenixes also dive in. The Assassins, as well as the Rat Ogres, need to get active and start sorting out this backline situation because the mortars are being hounded and harassed right now, and the Wolf Rats likewise have been forced off, though almost all of the Elvish archers are currently getting slaughtered or running to try to save their own skins, and that's a lot of their damage output gone as well. We do get a big fat fireball coming in after the Plague Priest, doing some pretty solid damage. And down here on the right hand side, one Arcane Phoenix is learning what it's like to be an elf right now, and is getting his ass absolutely whooped here by Deathmaster Snicketch, who's doing some really lovely work. There are spearmen to support, and it looks like the High Elves have actually broken through the Skaven front line now and are perhaps in a dominant position after a rocky start. However, Wolf Rats do manage to rally. They can certainly shut down these archers in the back, and it looks like most of the weapon teams are unfortunately on the run. We can see the Poison Mortars have absolutely fled the battlefield. Rattling Gunners have managed to rally here in the center, but these Rangers charging on them will be able to shut them down very quickly. You can see more shots are coming in after the Arcane Phoenix, one of which was able to escape, and we have a Rival High Talisman not being wasted, but used on Rangers and Spearmen, who aren't really going to do much damage at the end of the day anyway. Now, Pitfires at Hell's Deep have managed to rally. If they could surround this Arcane Phoenix right now, who has just offered them an attack into the rear, it would be beaten down in a matter of seconds and forced forced off the battlefield. However, looks like they are bombing it to try to save the Poison Wind Mortars instead. Not a bad play. Very close game so far. Mutant Rat Ogre is still very healthy. Likewise is the Council Guard. And those sneaky Wolf Rats in the back could be used to pounce upon the archers at any time. 3 units have managed to return to the battlefield here. Arcane Phoenix are looking very beat up and worse for wear. However, look at this. Lovely little strike. Arcane Phoenix swoops down, pulls out, dragging away the Rat Ogres. Illyrian Reavers do start to swoop in, and it's kind of going to be a bit of a Skaven death blob at the end of the battle here, it would seem, to try to hold on. But there's a lot of High Elves left on the battlefield, and it's actually the High Elves who outnumber the Skaven. Not something any Skaven player ever really wants to see. Now, I think the Rattling Gunners are unfortunately dealt with. They could do some big damage here to the Arcane Phoenixes. We do have Poison Wind Mortars returning to the battlefield, as well as Skaven Slaves, but that's a lot of archers and a lot of rangers all starting to return to the main fight. And now the High Elves can simply slowly drip in those units. Whilst doing vortexes, burning heads, the lot, they can really slow down, whereas the Skaven unfortunately cannot afford such luxuries. See, we get a big vortex down here. However, the Skaven are able to dodge the majority of it, which is quite nice. And the Wolf Rats are sneaking their way back in. I'm not sure the Elf players actually noticed this. Maybe he is. He's starting to pull through his archers a little bit more. They need to get in front of this wall of shields and swords to help protect them. And now we can have just the Spearmen slowly trudging their way in as the Pit Fighters and Mutant Rat Ogres try their best. Now, do bear in mind, we probably have a lot of summons left on the side of Skaven, so they're certainly not out of this fight yet by any means. And it does look like the Spearmen, as well as Rangers, are starting to rout in their droves right now. That Mutant Rat Ogre is very scary. However, a couple of fireballs will pull it down to size. Now, the Wolf Rats are able to jump on top of the archers. A nice little cheeky hit and run. You can see the doggos trying to flee as quickly as possible, and they actually shatter that unit of archers, which is massive, because the archers are needed here to kill the Mutant Rat Ogre and to kill the Pit Fighters at Hell's Deep. Though it looks like they're currently focusing down the Plague Priest instead, and we're about to see a summon as well. The mighty Clan Rats spawn through the gap. What a placement, and now we're jumping on top of the archers, looking to devour their flesh and souls. Deathmaster Snickage is doing absolutely fine. We do get a lovely little breath come down there by the Plague Priest on his mighty mantle there, dragging down the Spearmen, and the Elves are starting to lose a little bit of hope. The Phoenixes definitely need to drop down in, get involved a little bit in the fighting, and try to assassinate key targets. So we can see a big Vortex, though, does catch the Council Guard relatively well. That is a good play there. But now the Phoenixes need to commit to the fight at the same time. Both goon out that Mutant Rat Ogre, or goon out Deathmaster Snickage, for example, as that Rat Ogre is getting danger low. It looks like the health player knows it's a big threat. So the Rat Ogres have unfortunately rampage, which means the Phoenixes are going to have their way of them and jump upon them. And it looks like the Skaven might just be giving up on this unit of Rat Ogres, unfortunately, and instead deciding to push forward towards the Archmage and the rest of the infantry. We do get a Deathmaster Sigil go down on the Archmage of Fire here, who then leaps gloriously into combat against an assassin. Now, I am no tactical mastermind, but I will tell you for free, chucking a mage at an assassin doesn't tend to end too well for the mage, at least from what I've tried myself. The archers are able to stabilize at least 2 units. One other unit has indeed shattered, and it's basically just the hero core left for the Skaven, but it is so powerful. Mutant Rat Ogre is really suffering, and in come the Arcane Phoenixes. I think the double Arcane Phoenix might just have this battle now. It's going to take a lot from the Assassin and Deathmaster Snickage to get their way back into this game, though if they are able to trap these Arcane Phoenixes, it is certainly a good way back into it, and they're getting dangerously low here. The Arcane Phoenix is getting its arse just, bam, slapped on right now. We do get a breath attack. Unfortunately, it does miss. It's quite hard to aim that thing. You can't actually shoot it backwards or anything like that. So one Arcane Phoenix is basically dead. The other one is danger low at the moment to the Assassin, and Snickage putting in an absolute shift so far. The Mutant Rat Ogre has been dealt with and chased off the battle, but likewise we do have a summon of Clan Rats being used to chase away archers, which is a good use of their time in general. Balance of power is very, very even. This is quite frankly a ridiculous game. This is crazy. So the Rangers are now shattered. The Spearmen are really starting to struggle. That Plague Priest has been such a don. 126 kills, over 1,000 value, just hunting down these infantry troops right now. And it actually looks like the Clan Rat summon is able to beat back the Reavers. That's how beat up they are at the moment. I don't know which way this is going to go. This is ridiculously close. Now, we can see one Arcane Phoenix. What happened to... Am I blind? What happened to the other Arcane Phoenix? Did it go down? It went down to the clan rats. This may be the greatest summon of clan rats in history. They've killed an Arcane Phoenix as well as breaking Illyrian Reavers. There's a lot of the punch gone for the High Elf forces. Now, you can see the big bird is going to be diving in to try to assassinate the Council Guard. We have a Fireball going after the Death Master, who, of course, with his prowess in Martial, he is going to be dancing and bobbing and weaving back and forth, managing to dodge the shots there and actually hopping on top of the Arcane Phoenix, dishing out a bit of pain. Now, it is going to be cycle charging with Archer support for the High Elves. That's all they can do, and try and buy time for Fireball. It's going to come down maybe to Terror. I mean, the Plague Priest can kill all the infantry here. Can the Assassins kill the Arcane Phoenix, however, before it can kill the Plague Priest? And it's looking pretty good for them. They are jumping upon it. Their blades are singing, and they're starting to drag him down. However, getting rear attacked, surrounded, outnumbered. All these things certainly add up to leadership, something Skaven really do lack. And the Assassins are actually starting to get a little bit cheekily low there. Now, we do get a Deathmaster Sigil go down on the Archmage, and Deathmaster Snickage is having a whale of a time. Stabbing, hacking, slicing, killing. Yes, down she goes. No, she flees to her safety. Arcane Phoenix is trying its best, but the Skaven, a victory cry being ripped from their lungs. But the Arcane Phoenix managed to proc its massive heal here. This could be an absolutely clutch victory for the High Elves. They get that lucky rebirth, and it could indeed save them. However, even with the rebirth, I'm not 100% sure it's going to be enough. I mean, the Plague Priest is getting very low right now, and the Deathmaster and Assassin certainly could be assassinated by the Flames Fire, but Deathmaster Snickage is landing every hit. He is going absolute beast mode, taking down the Arcane Phoenix. I don't care if I have to kill you twice, I still get the job done. Arcane Phoenix is running for its life, Archers are running low on ammunition, and that's gotta be a victory for the Skaven. I don't see any way back in this for the High Elves right now. The ammo is about to dwindle and go down. The Plague Priest up to 189 kills, still going strong. Now, the Phoenix does manage to rally here, so perhaps there is time for some form of a really big hit on Deathmaster and killing him, or maybe on the Plague Priest and then imagine to assassinate the characters, but I just don't see it happening. Archmage Fire is retreating back now. Archers, of course, are engaged in combat. The Arcane Phoenix does come in to try to drag down the Plague Priest, and it does actually manage to terrify it, but the Assassin, a warp-covered blade stabbed upwards into its heart, pierces the feathers and flesh, and down the majestic bird doth go. Now, the double Assassin are left. Archmage Fire does have some fireball shenanigans, but it's going to take quite a few, unfortunately, to kill the Assassin. We do get a Deathmaster Sigil once again go down by the Skaven player. Plague Priest is going to go. That is GG's. Quite frankly, a ridiculous battle to start the stream. And I don't know how we're going to quite top that, to be honest. Like, game one was something out of a storybook. That was insane. Deathmaster, over 2,000 damage value and 67 kills, 750 for the other Assassin, 1.7k and 193 kills from the Plague Priest. Really good job there by him. And across the board, of course, the infantry did basically nothing, but that's its job. It was born to die. Even the Council Guard only getting 37 kills and 333 damage value. But they put their borders on the line to protect the rest of the build. 700 from the Rattling Gunners is pretty good. 550 and 966 from the Poison Wind Mortars is okay. The really nice play by the Wolf Rats. Shining those archers was such a clutch play, as well as some of the summons to shut them down worked really well. 659 damage value on them. As for the Mighty Rat Ogres themselves, 800 value and 1.1 kill on the Mutant Rat Ogre with 93 kills. Skaven players out there, do try that bad boy out. He is very good and very underrated. Archmage Fire got 1,000 value, not too shabby whatsoever. The infantry in the mid to low hundreds for the most part. Pretty decent kills there across the board. 121, 139, 104. It all sounds good until you realise they're just cutting down parts of the Vermintide. Archers did okay. Tunis did really good with over 600 value. The others got shut down a little bit too quickly. Arcane Phoenix has got 2.4k damage value, which is amazing, but also 620, which is a bit of a letdown. The Reavers got 1.1k value and 467. Definitely a standout unit, this unit of Reavers, with 161 kills, but eventually being dragged down by a summon. GG. That was amazing. That was a really cool game. So, let's quickly update the scoreboard, as this is a best of 3. And let's pop that up there for Wicked. So, Wicked D is in the lead. He cannot use Skaven anymore, though, and he is a bit of a Skaven main, so That could be... I'll see if the build shows up. I think it won't. Hopefully, unless I click on one of them. But if he starts building something, we'll check a screen blocker up. It's going to be Coast versus Beastmen. Interesting stuff. So, Tides went Beastmen and Dark Elves. Okay, it does show up. That's annoying. That's annoying. It never used to. What happened to the good old days? There we go. Bam. Got the duck up, though. We've got our loyal god. You guys just have to remind me to take it down or I'm going to die. The replay I sent you might top it. Storm, what did you do? What did you do? Oh no. I'm excited to look into it. What's up, Mad Pig? How's it going, dude? Aloys, the Park Gorilla himself. Jay Gunter as well. Matthew Coffin. Looks like I've got quite a few people gathered. Yeah, that was insane. Elder of the Mist. I don't know if you saw that one. I highly recommend going back and watching it. That game was insane. Which one's the best against foes? Plague, Ninja, Tech, or Mortars? Or Monsters, sorry. It depends, honestly. You can go with Ninjas. That can work really well. Likewise, the guns can go well. The Monster Mash can go well. Plague might be the weakest, but it depends if you include Poison Wind Mortars and Poison Globe Mortars into Plague Eldrin. Because if you include them, then that might well be the strongest as well. But going full Plague doesn't necessarily work. So, I would argue Tech is the best, but all of them are viable, is what I would say. Coopson, I think I might want that top stat too. You guys are talking the talk. I need to see you walk the walk, guys, and send me those replays for sure. I'd love to check them out. We might even be able to check them out on live stream. At the moment, we're currently following Team Duck, or Team Quack, I should say. So hopefully we might have some games with Hanadins up after this, and maybe Ninja as well. It depends, obviously, on time a little bit, but I've also got a load of replays from here. Oh, it looks like Captos won't be able to make it, unfortunately, which sucks, but that's okay, bud. We can get some good replays from you anyway. Yeah, Storm, I've just seen your replay called Ghosts and Goblins, which is a good title. It's a good title. Some spooky ghosts versus an army that was 90% magic damage. Oh, dear God. That's going to be weird. That's going to be a weird one. Thanks for the reply, Doc. No worries, man. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Honestly, we've been streaming now for like, I don't know, 20 minutes, and it's already been fantastic. That was so cool. That was a really fun game. I love to see competitive Skaven play as well. I've started to like Skaven more and more over my time on Total War, and I really do enjoy them. Coops, I probably have it. I seem to remember having a few replays from you. Because I tend to do them in batches. I think I did cast one with you, actually. Maybe it's not out yet. I feel like it is. Maybe check out my latest video, man, because I hit one out with you in. I'm pretty sure, like the last couple of days, which was like insane. But here we go. Wicked D with the mighty VP. Now, VP really aren't bad against Beastmen whatsoever. Double Gunnery White is rather disgusting, but delicious at the same time, and can obviously do a load of damage. But apart from that, they still have plenty of other options. I think going Air Core can really work quite nicely here for the VP. The Harpies are also a little bit problematic, so you have to be ready to drag them back into your guns and finish them off for good. Is there any units you guys are hoping to see from the forces of the VP or the Beastmen? Personally, I would love to see Kazrak One-Eye here. I think he'd be a really fun choice and inclusion, though may indeed struggle up against the Gunnery Whites and the like. Though there is also Malagor the Dark Omen. Obviously, Torx Brass Bull is the most competitive pick most of the time, though in this matchup, Morga the Shadowgave might actually be better coming in with those Chaos Spawn summons and being a little bit less snipeable as well. Although, you know, Torx isn't someone you'd call snipeable, but just due to the amount of AP on the battlefield, it'd be quite hard. That duck death breedable? Are you talking about the duck on the screen? Does it involve Kutep, Jewel, and the Phoenix? Maybe I haven't cast that one then yet. Samurai Warrior, the man. The myth, the legend, the goat. How are you doing, man? I don't know if you guys heard me whispering that. I forgot my mic now takes away small noises, so hopefully you don't hear me tapping. I just called you the greatest, Samurai Warrior. Not sure if my mic cut that out, but let's quickly get that duck off the screen before Torx gets too excited. There we go. Bam, bam, bam. And get back in. But hope you're doing all good, man. Long time no speak, actually. I haven't spoken to you in a while, Samurai. We have to hit me up at some point so we can chill out and do some games. Go, go, moo. Didn't know Wicked D was in DBD? He is indeed. He is indeed. Not not super new, but relatively new. Probably our newest recruit to DBD, I believe, is Mighty Wicked D. And look at Noculus just swagging, surveying the battle lines, and pumping his halberd into the skies. Looking super stoked. Just double check Screen Blocker is gone, and it has. So for the forces of Wicked D and the VP, we have Count Noculus on foot, of course, coming in with Aurelius Dead and Invocation Heck and all the summons, and a Gunnery Wight. This is typical stuff. Normally see double Gunnery Wight, though. Looks like we might not be getting that today, unfortunately. Looks like in his main battle line, it's going to be a bucket ton of zombie pirate deckhand mobs. Some with polearms. Those ones will be guarding the flanks, with the basic ones in the front. We also have triple zombie pirate gunnery mob gunners here in the front, which, will certainly do some nice more long-range damage, and a load of polearms as well. So where's all this money gone? I mean, the Gunnery Wight, Count Noculus. Oh, here we go. The Lamprey's Revenge. My god, the Lamprey's Revenge are so disgustingly tanky. 120 armor, regeneration, a healthy HP pool of over 6,000 HP, and 9 models. They really can duke out with the best of them for a rather long time. We have triple Scurry Dogs as well as a Deathstreak Terrorgeist up in the skies. Not to be kind of confused with the Vampire Count one, because they are actually different. The Deathstreak Terrorgeist is a bit of an all-rounder in a way, and less anti-large. Now, for the forces of the Beastmen, it is very wide and very bold. In fact, they actually outnumber the undead here. We have the Destroyers of Drakwold and Ungor Raiders and Goreherds dotted all the way along the front line. A little bit drunk, a little bit tipsy still, but they're ready for a good old fat scrap. Couple of Spearmen guarding the flanks. I'm sure that Mighty Tides here is probably having a bit of PTSD from those Wolf Rats in the previous game, so he's got his Spearman guard on the flanks this time. We have a load of Ungor Raiders as well, just to bring that long-range pressure. A couple of Harpies up in the skies. Of course, a Brave Shaman on a chariot, though not coming in here with the usual wild magic. Instead, we have a Flock of Doom and Manticore Summon, also very popular. We have a Jabberslife down here on the ground, looking absolutely disgusting. Let's give him a little neck scratch just to let him know it's nothing personal, though, and he's still beautiful to someone. And then we have Morgan the Shadowgave coming with a load of summons. So nice to see him in action as well. I think in this matchup he is very competitive, simply due to the fact of all the AP being poured into Taurox can eventually drag the man down. I'm all good, man. I'm all good, Samurai. I'm all good indeed. It's been a good day so far. Well, it's been way more stressful today than it was meant to be. It's meant to be my day off, but having to handle a lot of stuff annoyingly. But yeah, so far it's been good on the stream, chilling, watching some awesome games. Hope you guys are enjoying as well. So yeah, man, during the Christmas vacations, I'm going to be traveling home for a week, so I'm not going to be really near my PC. But I'm still here for a couple of days yet. Going to be getting a lot of awesome stuff out. Hopefully doing a pretty fun live stream tomorrow, like a tournament live stream on a mod that Loopy made for the High Elves, which I'm very excited for. So hopefully we can get that cracking as well. So as you can see by Wicked D, he's actually doing exactly what he did with his Skaven as well, and doing a summon in front of his army, just to hold back the enemy, and some of the Gauls just take a dive there as well, taking some initial damage. I'm sure it was shots coming in here from the gunnery mobs, but also engages the deckhand mobs in the front. Now, this is going to crumble very quickly, this position. We do have the Lamprey's Revenge, obviously, and the Deathstreak Terrorgeist, who can do some really nasty work hunting down the Brave Shaman, and look at these little scurvy dogs. Wicked D, once again, with a backline harass, trying to shut down the Ungor Raiders. Now, we do have Harpies nearby. That is going to open up a pocket tower for the other Scurvy Dogs to delve into if they so require. Brave Shaman's actually taking considerable damage right now, and a Wraith Storm comes in. Oh my god! Every single beam connected, and that Brave Shaman has been slapped off the field. Early days here. Count Noculus pushing forwards as well. Obviously, the Gunnery Wight was there assisting. We have the Lamprey's Revenge just rolling over the Goreherds in the front, and it looks like the VP are more than holding the line here. We do have some lovely usage as well of the Gunnery Wight's ability on the Ungor Herds, and it's actually the VP winning the front line and pushing out. This is a really good situation for them early days. However, the Deathstreak Terrorgeist is kind of having his arse whooped by double Harpies, which isn't something you would normally expect or like to see. Scurvy Dogs, though, are trying to shut down the support there of the Ungor Raiders, but certainly aiding in this endeavor. We also have an Invocation Heck coming down. Now, the Deathstreak certainly could take a dive, take a foot here, and go down into the infantry of the enemy, so it can be supported by the rest of its troops. It's actually going to go after the Jabberslife here, which is a rather bold pick, but it may allow Count Noculus or the Gunnery Wight to help support where possible. Now, the Gunners are starting to move forward. They're desperately trying to annoy this, ignore the Manticore, because it is just a summon, so at the end of the day, it will eventually disappear, and they don't really have the means to kill it, unfortunately. We do have both Chaos Spawn summons on the battlefield, and that's actually keeping balance of power just in the middle, so you definitely know that the VP are currently in a favorable position. position, particularly the Lamprey's Revenge being full health and diving headlong into the Rangers and Harpies, starting to slaughter them, though Morga the Shadowglaive is very safe at the moment. Does look like the Death Streak Terrorgeist was able to stabilize itself. Might want to go over the Harpies while it has the chance. Count Noctilus being nearby obviously is a big boon, and the Gunnery Wight is just going to be popping. He's going to be popping shots all day at that Jabberlife, which is trying its best to get into the enemy back line, and it does look like the Beastmen have started to shut down the majority of the range from the VP, but they can of course summon more. Now the Lamprey's Revenge are holding the line, doing a fantastic job, up to nearly 50 kills and basically taking no damage, despite holding back the Chaos Spawn Summons, Harpies, Ungor Spear Herds, Gore Herds, the lot. They do not really care. Now, the Terrorgeist does delve down on the Ungor Raiders, doing good damage there, with another Storm coming down, hitting the Jabberlife, who flaps his wings in distress, taking considerable damage there. And yeah, it's good to shut down the back line, but the entire time he's going to be getting crossfired by the Pirate Gunnery mobs, as well as this pesky little Gunnery Wight, which has been doing so much damage. We also have another summon of the Gunnery mob just to bring more pain to the enemy. Now, bounce power is slightly Beastmen favored, rather surprisingly. It may be due to the fact that the Lamprey's Revenge are actually starting to struggle. Now, when I say struggle, they're still doing fine. But their leadership is starting to waver. However, they're about to get some deckhand mob support, meaning they should be able to kind of restabilize this engagement on the right-hand side and get themselves a little bit sorted out. Now, Count Noctilus is dueling Morga the Shadowglaive. Not a good fight for either of them, really. It's going to take quite some time for either of them to kill the other one. And those pesky gunnery mobs are really starting to lay on thick to the Jabberlife, who's been a very tanky boy and absorbed a lot of damage so far. We do get the first Invocation Heck of the day out, at least the Overcast one. We saw one earlier on the big goose in the sky there. And it's going to be healing up Noctilus, helping him fight Morga, and he's also fighting the Jabberlife now, which is really a good target for him with that anti-large. Very close game. Beastmen have managed to rally a lot of their forces. We do have some Gore Herds who need to be activated once more and kind of brought back into the main fight. But the Terrorgeist is doing some good work here on the Jabberlife, really starting to pull chunks of rotten flesh out from it and devour them into its belly. We have yet another summon from the deckhand mobs. Count Noctilus really can bring a, quite frankly, ridiculous amount of summons to the battlefield, just to try to thin the herd a little bit and clear out the Beastmen where possible. Gunnery Wight is dueling the Jabberlife, not really where he wants to be, but he is surrounded by friends, whereas his enemy is surrounded by enemies. The Lamprey's Revenge up to 137 kills, stabilize this position, and are looking really tanky. They've only lost one model so far, doing a fantastic job. We do have another Storm come down on the Jabberlife, doing some really good work. It is up to 158 kills. However, eating that many rotten carcasses has probably got to be pretty bad for your health. He is coming in to try to stomp Count Noctilus, but Count Noctilus doesn't really give a damn. He's like so tanky. He doesn't really mind if you come in to snipe him for a little bit. You've kind of got to chuck more at him than just one Jabberlife. And the Terrorgeist is actually going to follow up here, surround the Jabberlife. And if this Majestic Beastie goes down, it's going to be really hard for the Beastmen to get back into this game, because the Lamprey's Revenge are a real big problem. However, the Ungor Raiders may prove me wrong. They're raining shots down from both sides, and the Lampreys are taking some massive damage. We have Harpies coming back into the affair, but the Death Streak Terrorgeist does get hit there by an Invocation of Heck, going to be topping him up quite nicely, and that is a lot of terror for a faction like the Beastmen, who have low leadership to contend and deal with. It is going to be very scary. So in comes a big, fat, juicy breath attack. It is going to go down just on the Destroyers of Drakworld there, trying to get some damage out. And then he bomb dives onto Morga the Shadowglaive, doing some basically no damage, unfortunately, for Morga. Harpies are starting to swoop in. Ungor Herds are doing a decent job. Lamprey's Revenge are actually starting to crumble here and go down relatively quickly due to the pressure the Ungor Raiders are starting to apply. So the Death Streak Terrorgeist might want to go over there and just finish them off. Just get them off the battlefield, stop them being a problem. Because the Jabberlife is also a threat, though. He's going to come finish it off. But the Gunnery Wight could probably shoot it to death. And it looks like it is actually going to break. And I really do think these Raiders are actually the biggest threat here to the VP build. And it looks like the Revenge might be going down here. They're starting to drop really quickly. And I don't think they're going to be able to stabilize in time. They are charging forward, just trying to get a little bit more damage. They're now going after the Ungor Raiders, but a tad too late, and they're getting shot down on the approach. Leadership is negative 37. Ooh, looks like they will unfortunately be biting the dust. And then it's the Gunnery Wight fighting alongside Count Noctilus, kind of versus the world. And Count Noctilus is right now getting slapped up pretty hardcore by Morga the Shadowglaive, who's a better melee combatant with his poison. So Count Noctilus definitely is going to have to run for his life. Death Streak needs to finish off the Ungor Raiders, or perhaps we can get some summons on top of them as well. And look who's back. What's that coming over the hill? Is it a monster? It is indeed. The Jabberlife is on the warpath. Morgul goes toe-to-toe with the Gunnery White. In comes the Deathstreak Terrorgeist though, and that is a big chunk on the Shadowgave. If he goes down here, it's the 3-on-1 smackdown. Just punches all around him. The Brayherd are trying to rally to him, but he breaks. My god, Morgul the Shadowgave, one of the tankiest lords in the game, going down there in a matter of seconds with some big hits coming in, and he breaks, and all of a sudden the Beastmen just lose the game just like that. Well played to both these guys. Yet another crazy close game, but Wicked D will be taking this best of 3 series 2-0 here for Team Quack, doing some really good work. And I'm not sure if Tides Demon is on a team or not, if he's just playing on ladder. I know a lot of the RTK guys, I think, were fighting for Human Boy, I'd assume, because they're in the same clan, but we'll have to wait and see. I'll have to do a little bit of research into that overall. Beastmen are not super favored on balance of power. They're losing. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If Beastmen aren't, like, miles ahead, something's gone wrong for them. So, for the Mighty Wicked D, can Noctilus, 1.6k damage value and 1.9 on the Gunnery White. Such a deadly combo. Some really nice Wraith Storms as well. I think taking out that Brave Shaman early was massive. Just taking away your opponent's magic for an entire game is really nasty. 49 and 82 kills there across the heroes. Now, the infantry is nothing too exciting. Mid to lower hundreds, as you expect. Actually, normally just low hundreds. Likewise, unfortunately, for the Gunnery mobs and the Scurvy dogs, I would assume. None of them getting too much work done. They're just being more bodies that the Beastmen have to grind themselves against to get to the key juice units, like the Lamprey's Revenge, who got 1.3k damage value and 197 kills. 975 damage value as well on the Deathstreak Terrorgeist. So a real team effort between the two heroes and these two units. As for Tides Demon, Morgul the Shadowgave got 2,000 damage value, not too shabby whatsoever. Unfortunately, the Brave Shaman, only 16 value there. As for the Raiders across the board, nothing too crazy. Death destroys the Dragworld though. I mean, 124 kills, 644 damage value. That is no joke. That's pretty impressive. The Goreherds didn't do a huge amount, and the Ungor Raiders, they did pour on the fire pretty thick, but it was relatively well spread amongst all of the units there. RPs did okay, 646 damage value and 475, and the Javaslave, despite getting 162 kills, only got 800 damage value, which is a little bit of a sad day, for him. So GG's, let's update the scoreboard quickly, and we'll see who we've got next. I do have a load of replays in case any of the guys aren't currently playing, but hopefully some of them are. So I think we might have Ninja up next. Let me send him a message. And we'll see. I think he is actually currently playing, so. Hey, bud. You want to play? Cool. I'll see if he wants to play the best of 3 on stream. Thanks for casting the games. Nope, man, wicked. They were some awesome games, bro. They were awesome. Sadly, because of work, I couldn't play a lot during this. For no worries. Yeah, there's actually like an event going on, so there's teams like competing to get the most wins over a set time. But just due to work things, like a lot of people aren't like being able to play too much or whatever, so we're just kind of taking it nice and chill and just enjoying the tournament games basically, which hey, is what it's kind of about anyway. What's today's format? We're just doing a load of best of 3s on Inticity's ladder system, Sebastian, aka I believe Mr. A-Move Hacker. But we're following Team Quack today, which is made up of Energized, Hanadins, Wicked D, Captellus, and Ninja Pinven, which is pretty cool stuff. So, let's see. I don't know if any of them are around just yet, so we could always do a showcase game while we wait. I'll message Hanadins as well. Hey, man. Do you know what time you would be able to play? Cool, I think Ninja's actually going to hop on. Awesome. You hop on the ladder and let me know. Cool, it looks like we're going to see a best of 3 of Ninja. We don't know his opponent just yet. So I'm just doing a bit of admin in the back here, guys. Cool. I'd love to be good enough to play multiplayer, not my forte. Hey, Nate Sweet. One day sweet. I'm not sure when you became a member, but thank you so much, dude. That must have been on a previous live stream. Hopefully I showed you out at the time, dude. But yeah, hope, man, you're enjoying the stuff, even if you can't play super much. But always feel to dive in, man. Particularly Warhammer 3, man. Warhammer 3 is going to be your time to shine. There's going to be lots of newer players. And it should be, like, really cool. You can do it in my Discord. So I don't know if Ninja's used the ladder system before. So let me just quickly explain it to him. I think it's just, yeah, exclamation mark Q. Cool, it looks like he has indeed queued. Awesome. So once he's got a opponent, we'll hop into the next game. Well, I'm not sure if it is say in my Discord if he's found it. Let's hop over to Ent's Discord and have a little double check. Little double look-see. If I can find what Entity's ladder looks like. What Entity's Discord. What does it look like? Oh, there it is. Find matches underneath here. Oh no, it's Ninja versus Curex. Awesome. I thought it was Ninja versus Hanadins there. I was like, oh no, they're on the same team. They're on the same team. Awesome. So it looks like Curex of RTK versus Ninja. So let's see when they refresh. I'll see if he wants me to host it. I'm so stoked for Warhammer 3. What faction will be your first? Probably Kislev. Kislev look very cool. I mean, I'll have to give, like, I'll dip my toes in, probably. And do a little bit of, like, a little bit of everyone to start with and see which faction I enjoy the most. I mean, Zine look really good fun. Just because they got a lot of duck-based stuff in them, but Kislev also has polar bears, and that's got to count for something. Basically, the majority of my decision-making is based on animals when it comes to these factions. Kraken the Mighty. I really need some Dowie action. We might well see some Dowie action at some point. Definitely not from Ninja, though. He's more of an elf player than a... Dowie player. I believe this is the guy. Correct, I think. Let me double-check. It is... Yeah, Kirax, cool. Hopefully this is the right guy. I wasn't just joining some random person's lobby like, surprise, duck, whack. Whack. Awesome. Let's update the scoreboards here. Let's take down that score. So there's a 2-0 victory there for Wicked, who played, honestly, fantastically. So did his opponent, though. His opponent did a lot of good work. Wasn't quite, unfortunately, able to take down them. Those sneaky little ninja rats managed to get a victory in that game. We'll have to see how Ninja does here on the ladder system. I don't know if he's played much ladder before. So it'll be put to the test for sure. Likewise, I have no idea who Curex is. Well, I definitely have heard him before and like seen him play in tournaments and stuff. And seen his name float around, but I don't know like what he means. I don't know how good he is. I don't think I've like cast any of his games on the channel and stuff. Oh, hello, Mr. Duck. Hey, hey. I think it is pick to ban none. I don't know. Is it pick to? I thought it was pick to ban none. Yeah. Ah, yes. I will pick High Elves and Dwarves. Awesome. Yeah, that's it. Awesome. So we may see Dwarves, guys. Who's it? Kraken wanted the Dwarves? We may well get them. It's High Elves or Dwarves. I'm totally into Kislev too. The bears are calling to me. Yeah, in my sleep, I hear howling the bears kind of in the distance. I'm like, oh, what is this? Let's quickly pop up a screen blocker as well. Boop. Got a nice little duck up for you guys to watch out. The Dowies are Kelligar's here as well. We may well get Dowie. We may do. That's a regular Friday night for me, says Benzo. I don't know where you live, buddy, but that's kind of crazy. But he says you can use the weight of PAB he wants. Okay. Oh, you can use any weight once. Up to you guys. I'm pretty chill, man. I'm just here to watch games today. Cool, it looks like he's playing Norsca. So it's going to be Norsca versus Dowie or Norsca versus High Elves. This could be a cool one. This could be a real good fun one. You want to try the Kislev Winged Lancer Cav? They are based on the Winged Hussars. I'm probably butchering the name Hussars there. From real life history. Is that the Polish cavalry, I believe? They did a very famous charge where they like go through multiple like cannon positions. Like they were used for a long time. I believe it's the Polish cavalry. I may be mistaken there as well. But yeah, they've kind of got like the winged banners like that go like up from the back of the horse over top of them. They kind of inspire terror into their opponents. Does a lot of good work. I will pick dwarfs then. We are getting dwarfs from Ninja. This is wild. He's a high elf main, and he can feel the power of chat compelling him to pick the mighty Dowie and go to war. So it's Norsca versus dwarfs. I'm very looking forward to this one. This is going to be a scrap. It's going to be a good, fun scrap. You really wanted to see the Monkey King? I believe it's a character from Cafe, right? Aloys, so you're maybe speaking of. He will almost certainly be coming into the game. Almost certainly, but I would believe it to be a DLC rather than the base game thing, you know? Norsca equals auto win. I mean, it's going to be interesting. It looks like Ninja's actually settled on High Elves there. Maybe he changed his mind. He's like, oh, go dwarfs. Pick High Elves. Ultimate mind games to throw your opponent off. It's the best way to play, honestly. Really confuse people. He keeps switching faction. Yeah, Ninja's got like a, I think it's called OC, like an OCD, like tick fin. He has to press certain stuff like multiple times and whatever, so he has to rotate through the factions, but it's not a problem. It doesn't seem to affect him too much when he's playing, like he's able to still like micro and stuff effectively, which is very impressive. Are flamethrowers and flame cannons a good choice against Norsca? Probably not flame cannons, I wouldn't think. Flamethrowers, yeah, could definitely do some work. Let's see if he's going to be going High Elves. That's going in the book. Yeah, sorry guys. He's like, yeah, going Dwarves. You know what? I'm going to disobey all of chat and go High Elves. Cool. Let's quickly check Discord. Make sure he doesn't send me like any questions or anything. He has. Awesome. Cool. Let's hop back on the game. I don't think I can switch between the two, so I can't even see if he's building an army. I'm assuming he's going High Elves. Dowie doesn't have a problem anymore dealing with this faction. Oh, against Norsca. Yeah, Thoric changes things quite a bit because you can beat down the Norscan infantry quite effectively. There's still a lot of problems Norsca can possess, though. There's still quite a few problems they can bring. It's not like that bad for the dwarfs anymore, though. Because before it was always such a pain. They would have like manticores flying around or like double mammoths and loads of chariots and just swarm you in general as well with great weapon infantry. But the dwarfs become such, like, they've been boosted so much with the rune system change in Thoric Ironbrow that it really helps them out quite a bit in a lot of matchups. I am prepared to be the lone person happy about this high elf pick, says Benzo. I love it. I love it. Which is your favorite race? If you're talking to me, it's the Lizardmen. The Lizardmen are my favorite faction. Though I also enjoy playing quite a few factions like Wood Elves as well. Can be good fun to play. I like playing the Dwarfs. I like playing Norsca as well. Norsca, really fun one. I actually enjoy playing most factions to a point. To a point. Cool. Just double check we have no more questions on Discord. Looks like we're all good and good, ready to rumble. Oh, that's a big fat stretch. Hope you guys are all doing good today. Hope your day is going well and your preparations for Christmas. Here in the UK, I have finished my last shift at my my work before breaking up for Christmas, which is nice because it was a tiny bit hectic. It was absolutely horrible, but I did manage to finish that yesterday. So nice chill stream today, watching some My Player games, doing some awesome best of threes. We're trying to get hand-ins on after this, and we might have time for Energized afterwards. It depends. He wasn't able to play till a little bit later. But I've also got some replays as well, so if we can't get either of those two boys on, I'll make sure to do some like best of three replays as well. Let's have a little yeek. I'm ready. Okay. He is going high elves then. I like it. Look how fun, lads. Looking forward to the scrap. Elven archers are legendary in any fantasy world. I don't know about Santa's elves. Are they considered legendary archers? That's like the only one I can think of. Where else are elven archers not good? In like the Elder Scrolls games, are they really that amazing? In like the Elder Scrolls games, I think Wood Elf archers are really good. I don't know if the High Elves are. I think they're just better wizards, if I'm not mistaken. Any other fantasy realms? I think in The Witcher, elves are probably pretty good archers. Though I don't have too much to back that up. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Lucky is the only person on the planet who likes both Dowie and Wood Elves. Actually seems like a mutually exclusive. Yeah, I like playing both. They're really cool fun. Like High Elves, you can go like high risk. Oh no, Wood Elves, sorry. You can go like high risk, high reward. You can go full tree factions. Or dwarfs, like their lore's so cool. They're kind of very Viking-esque as well. They got that Viking element to them. Much like Norsca do as well, so in kind of different ways. But I believe Grimnir, which is one of the Dowie gods, is actually just another name for Odin as well that was used for like kind of Norse mythology. Witches elves are pretty lame. I think they've just to the point where they're kind of... They've just been like trampled on, right? I'm not mistaken. Like elves are this like power that once was and was kind of destroyed. Hey Rubber Duck, excited for some Warhammer 3 next year? Factions you're looking forward to? What's up, Sir Tarquin? Hope it's going well, man. I think I'm not mistaken, Sir Tarquin. We had a really cool replay from you the other day, which we cast, which was legendary. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Warhammer 3. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Not only just to play it, but also get to show off to you guys and show off any cool stuff we can find and explore. Like, the My Player scene's gonna boom. It's gonna be so cool. So I'm very much looking forward to it. As far as factions, I'm most excited to play. At the moment, I really want to give Kislev a bit of a try, and I will probably dabble with every faction to a point. Tzeentch, of course, have that duck aesthetic, which I really like, and I find quite pleasing. Get rid of the shot blocker quickly. But honestly, I'm quite excited to play all factions and just see which one suits my playstyle and which one I think is the most fun. But I'm happy to hop into any of them at the moment. Anyway, let's look through Crux's force. I don't know if I changed... I did change the names, I think, anyway. So I'm going to back myself that I did. In the front line for his Norscans, it is Marauders dotted all the way along, looking rather scary. We also have Marauders with great weapons, as well as some Marauder chariots and some mighty Warhounds. We have the Beast of Tashnar and double Warhounds on the far side, triple Horsemen on the right, as well as triple Horsemasters on the left. Actually, some of them are indeed throwing axes. Double Manticores in the sky, with a Shaman Sorcerer of Fire coming in with Piercing Bolts of Burning, which is cool. Fireball and Burning Head, and then we have the mighty Wulfric the Wanderer as well. Really cool stuff indeed. As for the High Elf forces, it is going to be a pretty awesome build here, pretty wild stuff. We have double Silver Helms, we have Spearmen backed up by White Lions in the secondary battle line, more Spearmen, more White Lions, triple Archers, which is, you know, an okay amount of punch, nothing too crazy, one Flamesire Phoenix up in the skies who really might struggle, and we have Foot Chad Tyrion. What is this madness? Ninja brings in Foot Tyrion, who's just pointing at his opponent and waving his fist. I am here to slaughter you all. Really cool pick there. Mage of Light as well. Looks like he may have accidentally picked every single spell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it looks like he didn't untick the spells. I've done this before as well, and it's an absolute nightmare. I did it on Setra on his chariot, and my god, did it put me back a load of money. So he's coming in with a lot of flexibility, at least. Hey, it's one of those mistakes which I do sometimes, and sometimes it pays off because you're a little bit ready. Okay, do this build bring back memories? Oh no. I don't know. Have I seen this build before? I don't know if it brings out memories, but it may well do, and it may haunt my dreams. It may haunt my dreams. Now, the skirmish cav is going to be very problematic for this build in general. We do have the triple archers to try to fend them off, but they are outnumbered 2-1 by enemy range units. When you're outnumbered 2-1 by Norsca in range, it's can be a little bit rough to deal with them. Oh, there's also ogres as well. There's also ogres as well, for sure. The witch is pretty lame in general. Aloys, my boy. You need to be trained in the art. You need to be trained in the art, my friend. The Witch is an awesome little universe. Very cool world building. Tyrion does watch the Mage of Light to his right get absolutely slapped by a fireball. She probably didn't enjoy that. Didn't enjoy that much. If I was her right now, I'd cast a Shem's Burning Gaze right back. Kind of middle finger to middle finger, you know? Just, hey, you can hit me, I'm going to hit you back harder. Which is what I would do personally. But it looks like the High Elves will be advancing. The Norscans shall be advancing as well with their main battle line. The skirmish cav will simply be floating around the wings. Not too much cavalry to oppose them. We do, of course, have the Silver Helms who can be annoying. We do actually get a Shem's Burning Gaze going right back at that wizard. Oh, hell yeah. We got a wizard jewel on our hand. It was overcast, and the Mage of Light did unfortunately miscast, so she's definitely losing that jewel so far. But that was some pretty hilarious stuff, and it looks like we're going to get a fireball going directly back. The High Elf Mage definitely needs to start juking. Tyrion is trying to throw his body on the line, but he goes a little bit too early, and that Mage does get slapped pretty hardcore style there. So the Norscan's cavalry, of course, is simply going to kite backwards and away from the archer range right now. And that's the problem. Like, 4 archers are there to counter skirmish cavalry, but it can be kind of tough still because skirmish cav is so fast and swift. Now, the Flamesire Phoenix is maneuvering forwards, maybe thinking of going after Wolfred the Wanderer, going for the straight yeet here, trying to take out the Mighty Wanderer, but the Manticores are floating up ahead, and now the skirmish cavalry can come back to engage with him. It looks like Tyrion wants to go and assist, but he is surrounded by the enemy front line. White Lions are pushing forward. Likewise, the Silver Helms looking to intercept the Marauder Chariots, which is a really nice play. You can surround them and drag them down, but good play once again by the Norscan player intercepting that. And the Flamesire Phoenix doesn't really take... Oh, no, it has taken quite a lot of damage there. It does get up into the sky, so it's now dueling a double Manticore by itself. I don't care how magical this Phoenix is. It's not going to do it any good. It does look like the Norscan Warhounds are about to get into the back line, but a well-placed net is going to stop them just inches short. Also, an interception from the White Lions on the skirmish cavalry in the back and in the front has kept the Elvish Archer Corps alive for now. Frontline, however, is going far better for the Norscan forces. So the White Lions are starting to cleave a bloody path through. A little bit of a slip up by the Norscans as well, allowing some of their skirmish cav to be caught, but they were definitely capitalizing on the slip up from the Flamesire itself and shutting it down with the Manticores really quickly. And look at this swarm in the back. The High Elves fend off one threat, another to take its place. The Beast of Tashnar, the Horsemen, everything is jumping on top of these archers. Luckily for the High Elves, though, they didn't invest too much in range, so if they lose their archers but are able to kill a load of units for the cost, it's not actually that bad of a trade for them. Horsemen are being forced off. White Lions as well are doing a fantastic job. Down in the middle, we do get a Bryna's Time Warp going down on the Silver Helms and Spearmen. The Norscans simply going to retreat out of their path, though. Mordors will, unfortunately, though, be feeling some wrath there. Tyrion's trying his little heart out to get after Wolfric the Wanderer. He's going to go for a big slap. However, 100 Champions goes down on him. They need to be doing this with the Flamesire Phoenix at the same time, because now he's just trying to take on 3 single entities on one, and he's actually giving it back to Wolfric pretty damn hard. With 100 Champions popped, he just doesn't stand a chance right now. Maybe his buffs, he'd be able to tank that damage. Now, the backline is actually getting a little bit secured here for the High Elves. See, Silver Helm's doing a good job, and some of the archers are stabilizing. Likewise, the Marauders have been hit by a net and caught by White Lions in the back, but the army's kind of fighting in pieces rather than together. Flamesire Phoenix is on the way back as well. Tyrion is popping all his buffs now, going toe-to-toe with Wolfric the Wanderer. We also have Silver Helms coming for a rear charge, and the White Lions. No way does Tyrion get out of this alive. I refuse to believe it. Silver Helms come crashing into the rear of the Manticore, doing some pretty big damage. White Lions being used to try to chase off the Horse Masters as the Flamesire Phoenix also comes in for that assassination attempt. Unfortunately, Tyrion is terrified before getting that healing proc, which isn't good for him. White Lions take a load of damage, and now Tyrion is broken. And this is the big problem of Heart of Avalon in general. The Heart of Avalon needs you to get really low, and often you are broken or running before it does indeed pop off. White lines are carving their way through horsemen, doing a rather good job, and the back line is... I wouldn't say secure by the High Elves. All their archers are dying and running, but they're making the Norscans pay for it in blood with good usage of silver helms and white lines. It really came down to the misuse there of the single entities, Tyrion and the Flamespire Phoenix, both trying to take on Wolfric and the Manticores isolated and alone rather than together. If they fight as one, they probably would have had a really good shout there. We are going to see a cheeky burning head come down the line. That's going to roast as many friends as it does foes, but I'm all about it there. Marauders suffering as well as the Spearmen, but that shall be game one to the Norscans. I don't think there's any way that the High Elves can come back into this. White lines are reaping a pretty bloody toll on the Norscans, trying to rally themselves. We're about to get a Shem's Burning Gaze as well go down on Wolfric the Wanderer, and all the beams actually connect, doing some okay to decent damage against him. Spearmen are slowly cutting their way through the Manticores, and look at this disaster. Tyrion gets his HP all the way up, gets that heal proc, but it doesn't matter because he's already running, and therefore the Warhounds can simply finish him off. And that's why I think Tyrion, though Foot Tyrion is very Chad, I think Horse Tyrion's better, simply due to the fact he should be able to escape, hopefully, and actually come back into the battle. Because imagine a full health Tyrion right now on the battlefield. That'd be a game changer, being able to hunt down Wolfric as well as those Manticores and rally himself to the mighty White Lions. Major Light gets hit here by a Hunter of Champions, which is going to slow her down, unfortunately. Wolfric's going to come in, and he's looking to add yet another name to his tally. And that poor mage is getting pinballed around there, not having a good day. And now the Norscans can simply swoop away from the White Lions. There's no need to fight them one-on-one. And somehow, Tyrion, master of all for one, the defender, rallies? How did he rally here? I do not know. He carves down 5 Warhounds. Now, he did take considerable damage, however, despite being healed up there. And the High Elves are starting to come back. Got White Lines as well starting to rally. But the army is kind of getting picked apart here, though. The Horsemen, again, really danger low. They've been fighting considerably long times in melee combat. White Lines starting to hack down Wolfric the Wanderer. No way does Tyrion get back into this. Surely there's no way. And again, he's not on horseback here, so the horse masters can simply float over and do a load of damage to him. We do see a big burning head go down the White Lions. A good play there by the Norscans, though more White Lions are stepping up to take their place. We likewise have 61 White Lions here, 67 here. If Tyrion was fighting on top of them, maybe there was a chance, but as you can see, he's simply going to get kited right here. And a load of javelins thrown into him. Stand your ground goes down, as well as a foe seeker. Just trying to pop that speed so he can get a little bit closer to the pesky Horsemasters, who will do some really nice damage. And I think that is going to be GG's. Despite Tyrion coming back, he was simply too far and away fighting force-wise from his army that he can't get back to the White Lines in time. Despite this, the White Lines are still holding. This is kind of crazy. Although I can hear a boat being summoned into the realms. Doesn't look like the White Lines attempted to dodge it, but unfortunately were caught there. And now they are going to pursue the Horsemen, trying to take them down. Tyrion down to 1.2k HP, though the javelins are starting to dry up. There's a little chaff to come in and slowly slow him down and start doing some decent damage. He might actually hide amongst the chaff, though, to mitigate some of the long-range damage coming in from the Horsemasters. I want to see a duel. I want to see Tyrion take on Wolfric one last time. I mean, Tyrion's very low, and I certainly expect 100 champions to be back up and running soon. They may well go down, unfortunately. Horsemasters continue to dance around the enemy where possible, whipping around, chucking javelins, and looking for a juicy opportunity for a rear charge. Just as army losses sets in, we get the free punch there. We have the fighting from Marauders in the front, the rear charge from the Horsemen, plus a burning head to drag down the enemy. Norsca are victorious. Curex there is going to be going up 1-0 here in this best of 3 series. Ninja with a valiant effort. Tyrion getting only 1,000 value, though. Kind of throwing away the Flamespire, not fighting with Tyrion. Was kind of what cost the game. If they fought together, those other really good traps being put down for all the Norscans that the High Elves were picking up, but alas, it was not quite enough. Major Light get up to 530 damage value. The Spearmen and Archers did, you know, okay, nothing too crazy, mid to low hundreds. Likewise for the White Lines, though one unit got 820, they were kind of a standout here. Silver Helms, mid hundreds as well, and unfortunately the Flamespire Phoenix is kind of flew its last breath there. As for the Mighty Force of Norsca, Wolfric the Wanderer, 670 value, not bad, nothing too fancy to be honest. 1,000 on the Shaman, definitely got the upper hand there on the High Elf caster. Who says Elves make the best casters? Shaman Sorcerer all the way. Norscan Infantry, nothing too crazy, mid-hundreds, and the Skirmish Cav, though, did prove pretty pivotal, which it often does for Norsca, right? 790, 670, 770, 850, 129, and 1,000 damage value there across the board for the Skirmish Cavalry. The big older doggos here didn't do too badly whatsoever. In fact, the Beast of Tashnar, 105 kills and 810 value is really good. Manticores, 801.3k damage value. GG. So Crux is going for Dark Elves and Chaos. Cool stuff. Let's update the scoreboard quickly. And pop up our glorious screen blocker. And that is going to be 1-0 to the mighty challenger here, correct? Boop, boop. There we go. Oh, looks like Ninja may have dropped. Hopefully be back. He may have crashed. Oh, his. Awesome. Cool. We're going to be having Hanadins up in a second. Cool. So Ninja Knight is the best of 3. He might not have known. See if his PC crashed. What's up, Julian? How's it going? Ghostly says, glorious indeed. That was a very glorious game. Shamans carried my Norsca campaign. They're super good. They did really good work. They kind of out-traded the Elvish caster there. Oh, yeah. He was a chat as well, for sure. What's up, Hanadins? I'll be getting you in just a second as well on Livestream. Hanadins is a member of Team Quack. He really needs better cardio if he's going to get back into this. Yeah, he was quite a long way away. Let's see. No worries. Yeah, Ninja's on his way back. He said he is on his way back. This PC just crashed. Cool. He is on his way back, but it is 1-0. It's got a little bit of work to do. Looks like the map shall be Galbaraz. And it is Dark Elves or Chaos. Dark Elves and Chaos seems to be like the go-to thing right now. It's really funny. Because Dark Elves haven't changed that much from when everyone said they were one of the worst factions in the game. And now they're like brought by almost every tournament player at the moment. It's crazy. I think it's because they're so good against some of the top factions that we're seeing them more and more now. They're like very good against Beastmen, for example. And Beastmen are really nasty at the moment. Good to see a Norsca win, says Parkrilla. 100%, man. Always cool to see Norsca do good. And actually, in the tournament we did recently, we had some really big victories for Norsca. They performed really well in general. Quack, quack, Mr. Logic. Are you not streaming? I thought you were streaming some games as well. But welcome, my friend. Hope you're doing all good in the hood. Norsca was so strong they destroyed their opponent's PC. Exactly. That's the power of Norsca. Is they hack your internet provider and start destroying you. And that's in kind of the buffs Norsca need right now. But they did decent work regardless. They did some decent stuffs. So I think Handens is starting his best of 3. So after this game we might like pick it up partway through, for example, and just hop in. Cool. I can see Ninja loading up the game now as well. What do you think of casting Panzer Petrol Pelt on White Lion type units? Double pelts? I mean, there'd be a lot of resistance because the White Lion pelts already give missile resistance. You can also overcast pounds in Petrol Pelt for those who don't know, and it becomes Air of Effect, which is quite nice. Yeah, no one knows how to take on Norsca, right? So they're just like, oh my god, what is this faction that exists? And it like jumps them. The problem is with Norsca for the most part is just a worse man's Beastmen and a worse man's Chaos. Because they're like a rush faction which has big monsters, some lords, and access to skirmish cav. That's basically what Beastmen and Chaos are as well. Chaos are slightly better at it, and Beastmen are way better at it. That's the problem. They've got better monsters, they've got better characters, and not necessarily better skirmish cav all the way, but sometimes better mobility as well, and support in mobility, I would argue. Oh, it looks like Mr. Ninja is back. Welcome back. Love the Tyrion pick, by the way. Very Chad. Oh, so I picked Dark Elves and Chaos, so yeah, Ninja will have to come in with a ban here. Which they never take monsters, 6 Skirmish Cav go brrr. Yeah, I've spent a long time, I think Skirmish Cav in general needs to either lose ammunition, or the community needs to... I mean, it's tough though, like, you want to be able to ban more Skirmish Cav, right? Everyone's sick of Skirmish Cav at this point. I don't think there's anyone who's not, like, a little bit sick of them, and, like, how powerful they are. But if you, like, limit them too much, Norsca and Chaos just cannot compete against factions which can bring air. They just can't do anything against, like, VP, against Dwarves, anything which has mass air, they'll die against. Particularly Norsca in general, really struggling in that situation, so you kind of have to have the Skirmish Cav for them, unfortunately. I just wish they had, like, less ammunition or something to kind of counterplay it. But that's not something we can obviously do. Been playing a lot of Norsca lately. Might have to try that build. It was a good build. Did a lot of good work. Yeah, see, Park Gorilla's got the right swag. The Norsca and Skin Wolves are awesome. Looks like we may be seeing Lizardmen. I will go Lizardmen. Cool, Ninja's going to be going Lizardmen. I'd actually say it's a good time to be Curex here. I think both Dark Elves and Chaos can do a lot of work against Dino Boys. Like, a lot of work. I'll be quite happy picking either of those into Lizardmen. At the moment, I'll be pretty happy. I mean, I'll never happy to face my own Lizardmen folk, I should probably say. You're never too happy to face my own favorite Dino Boys, but I think there's some good picks into them. Less ammo or damage, really? Yeah, that's the problem. I don't think in the current thing you would be able to limit them because of, like, the problem with flies and stuff. Because they've got other tools to take down large threats, right? It's not impossible to do it with those factions. Not enough mammoths and skin wolves? Exactly. We need more mammoths, more skin wolves. Let's get some Scaly Boy action, hell yes. Oh. Oh. Don't worry. Cool. Just let Curex know that Ninja's not like taking. If you ever meet Ninja Boy, he's an absolutely lovely guy, super awesome dude. He will like rotate through factions and stuff like this. It's literally just he has like a... I can't remember what it's exactly called. I'm a little bit ignorant, unfortunately, because I don't have OCD myself, but it's a something ritual. Like I can... Oh, I can't remember the name of it. But you have to like do stuff multiple times, so when he clicks a button to look at a faction, and he has to go through them all type thing. Which is fine. It's like a... Honestly, he doesn't use... He's very quick with building his actual armies and stuff, so... What's up, Christopher? How's it going? Hope you're good in the herd. Just nerf their damage output and we'll be fine. I mean, yeah, or just like nerf their damage output, nerf their ammo. Just do a little bit of summon. I mean, that's why one of the main reasons I'm really excited for Warhammer 3 is I don't think on launch there's going to be a huge amount of mass Skirmish Cav. There will be some factions of Skirmish Cav, of course. I'm sure that Sunesh being very rapid could make use of it. I'm sure Tzeentch as well could do a lot of kiting and that kind of cool stuff. Maybe even, I don't think Cathay actually has much cavalry. I think they're a relatively slow and kind of ponderous faction for the most part. They just kind of like grind through the enemy and so forth. A bit more Dowie-esque, funnily enough, but like the human versions of the dwarves with some heavy hitting monsters as well. But we'll have to wait and see. But the main thing is going to be the big shift in the meta, all these new factions, all these new units to look at, all these new tactics. It's going to be very exciting for sure. Very, very exciting. Let me quickly check Discord, make sure we've got no questions. Looks like we're all good to go. Awesome stuff. I'm just got to wait for Ninja to complete his build. Yeah, the Khorne do actually have, like, some, like, artillery pieces. in the motorcycles, but I'm all about that. They look amazing. Wouldn't mind seeing a Shredder in this game. I mean, Ninja may well do it. Shredder's honestly not terrible here. It is doable. It's very good at killing cavalry, though, more than monsters, I found. It is possible to bring a Shredder here and have success, but you need to bring something to deal with that skirmish cavalry, and it's generally got to be, like, double Bastillon. So good at dealing with skirmish cavalry. That's why you see it so often. It's good at Forcement way. It blinds them. It's a big pain in the butt. And likewise, you still have a giant monster to contend with afterwards. Skink skirmishers can be decent. Chameleon skinks can be decent. There's a lot of potential on the Lizardmen to really bring the pain. Likewise, with skirmish cavalry, you can kind of just fend them off. Get a unit of Saurus, get a unit of Skinks, and just push them away. Although a rather wise opponent will charge down your Skinkies if you do push too far away from other ally and support. Yeah, they have Jade Lancer, so they do have some cavalry, Cathay. I think they have 2 different types of cavalry or something. I think they mentioned before. They did do their roster reveal. But they're also probably not going to be like the fastest cav. They won't have like super light cavalry and that kind of stuff. Slaanesh has no range? Okay, just fast, really fast melee. They also have those fast, like, cavalry as well, I believe, and chariots and stuff. But yeah, maybe not range, actually. You might be right there. You may well be right. So when Warhammer 3 drops, we will still be able to play with Warhammer 1 and 2 factions in multiplayer? That integration will happen later on, Parkrider. Now, they said before they want it to be way shorter integration than last time. Last time was a couple of months before we got Mortal Empires and stuff. I think they want this to be very quick. But on release, we will just have the factions which come with the game, which I believe is 6 factions? 7 factions? 7 factions, I want to say. Ogres, Cathay, Kislev, and the 4 demons. So it should be 7 factions on release. Is Valkyrie a possible lord? Oh man, I can't remember much about Valkyrie. Isn't she Khorne-based? I think I know who you mean. Probably DLC lord, I would assume. Problem. Oh, wait, what's this? Yeah, just bring more dinosaurs, and you'll always have a good day. Yeah, I think the Monkey King would end up being from Cathay. Is that right? I'm not sure. Is he like a rebel amongst the Cathay ranks? Again, my Warhammer fantasy lore is very old, and there wasn't that much said about Cathay. At least not in like the major stuff. Let's quickly get rid of this beautiful duck. Quack quack. There it goes. It disappears into the night. Let's have a look at the chaos. So Kurex here looking to try to take this series 2-0, much like Wicked D did in the first game, coming in with his mighty chaos. We have Chaos Marauders dotted all the way through the front line, backed up by a load of Forsaken. So it's going to be a pretty damn fun bomb rush build. We've got some chariots in here. Of course, we've got all the skirmish cav, a load of horse masters for the most part, which is always awesome. We have the Ever Chosen as well, coming in with Cascade and Firecloak, Burning Head, and Fireball, as well as the Slayer of Kings. Look at him, looking glorious. And we have a mighty Dragon Ogre Shayoff, who looks really mean and angry today. Pretty cool stuff. For the forces of the mighty Dino Boys, we do have 1 unit of Pterodon Riders with Fireleech Bowlers. We have Skink Cohorts and Saurus Warriors dotted through their mists. Triple Temple Guard in a rather stalwart wall right here. They need to be careful. Burning Head down that line would be devastating. We have a Basildon with Solar Engine, Lord Mazdamundi as well, with Net of Amantok, Apotheosis, and Harmonic Convergence, as well as all of his items and abilities. And the Emerald Tide, which is pretty cool stuff. Now, the Pterodons are going to start poking forward. They're going to fire some Fireleech Bowlers in, do a little bit of kiting up against some Rollers, trying to get them to waste shots, though a lot of those Javelins are connecting. Apotheosis is going to go down to try to counteract it. Not a bad time to pop it. They still have all their models. Although a lot of the Horse Master ammo is being used up on them now. The Emerald Tide has got nice and close, looking to fend them away, and it looks like the Pterodons actually... Oh, don't lose a model after all of those shots coming in. And unfortunately, the poor Horse Masters cannot say the same. Quite a few of them going down here to the Emerald Tide and Solar Engine pressure. Now, the Pterodons have started to dwindle a little bit, and it looks like the Emerald Tide are rather swiftly looking to flee back behind friendly territory here, which certainly isn't a bad idea. Now, the Solar Engine going to continue to reap havoc amongst the Horse Masters, just be a pain in the butt. The Emerald Tide as well, trying to open up some shots, but Skirmish Cav being so swift can fall back and avoid it, but he does not do it, and that volley is pretty devastating. Down about a third HP there, although it does look like the Emerald Tide are about to eat some nasty charges from the Ever Chosen and the Dragon Ogres. Temple Guard a little bit too slow there on the draw, though we may get an Overcast Net come down. We do. So the Emerald Tide can now retreat, turn around, and unleash hell into the Dragon Ogre, who drags himself away from his restraints and continues his warpath. What on earth is this? He drags his way out of the the net there. I'm not quite sure how that worked realistically. Lord Mazdamundi is now fighting the Everchosen, but the Everchosen is actually a really good counter to Lord Mazdamundi, particularly on his Mighty Zlak there. Horse Masters do surround the Umbral Tide. Pterodons are going to be moving in. It looks like one unit of Temple Guard has been forgotten to activate, which is a bit unfortunate. It'd be really needed here in the central fight as the other Temple Guard surround the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth and surround Archon, the Everchosen, who's quite happy right now to slap a dino around, doing some pretty decent damage already. You can see Lord Mazdamundi's taken significant damage and hasn't really been able to land a hit on the Everchosen. Now we do have a big fat banishment coming down, and oh my god, this is going to be disgusting. Look at the amount of Forsaken that's hitting. It's actually going to go through the Temple Guard. No! My beautiful Temple Guard! This wasn't part of the great plan, they scream. Very unfortunate to go through them, but doing some lovely damage to the Forsaken at the same time. We're also going to get a big fat juicy ruination of cities going down on the Marauders, and that is going to do some pretty bad damage as well to the Temple Guard. Lord Mazdamundi, he wants smoke with absolutely everyone. He doesn't care if you're on his side, doesn't care if you're against him. He's going to kill you, and that's his main plan today. He's kind of seeing red a little bit. A shot does whiz by into the void there. You can see that flying on. That's going to go destroy a planet or two, probably. And the Umbral Tide do try to shoot the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth and actually singe Lord Mazdamundi's buttocks a little bit. However, the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth is nearly breaking there, and the Temple Guard have formed a rather solid shield wall around Mazdamundi. They can net the Dragon Ogre now. That'd be a really big boon for them. But elsewhere in the battlefield, Chariots doing a good job up against Saurus Warriors. Umbral Tide have been dealt with. Marauder Horse Masters have been caught, though, by seeing cohorts. Nice little catch there for the Lizardmen, actually sandwiching them between two units. Archaon being so healthy is very scary, though. Very, very scary. And you can see the Basidon's kind of left to its own devices here. The Temple Guard are continuing to try to chase down that Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, and they don't really have the means to catch it. So the Temple Guard are going to split forces here. One coming out to assist the Solar Engine, the other continue to pursue and help out Lord Mazdamundi where possible. I don't know if one unit of Temple Guard is going to be enough, though, to contest with Archaon, who is attempting his best to assassinate the Solar Engine. Big fat rock drop does go down on the Forsaken, though. That's going to do some nice damage, and then the Terrans swoop in. Some glorious hand-to-hand combat. Very close game so far. Skink cohorts are dishing the pain on the Forsaken, and once again, Horsemasters have been caught. The Dragon Ogre Shaggoth should do some good work here to Lord Mazdamundi, who does pop down his shield of the old ones to attempt to support him. It was going to hill go down on the Saurus. Instead, I would have liked to see it on Mazdamundi, I think, particularly if Harmonic Convergence popped. He's easily going to be able to outduel this Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, and the Temple Guard are nearby, break the Chaos Chariots with their mighty halberds, and send them back to the void. Now, it does look like the Solar Engine was supported and survived. It does pop shots into the Horse Masters, doing some nice damage, and they are broken. The Lizardmen forces are winning the majority of the battle, but once again, we have this problem of a lot of their units being isolated and not fighting together. This is where they can be picked apart. If the Solar Engine can get some nice shots on that Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, they should finish it off. Alright, no more fire. No more fire for you, and they charge in and should be able to kill the Umbral Tide here. Temple Guard are supporting Lord Mazdamundi, wiping out the Forsaken. It does look like the Everchosen has managed to eventually kill that Bastillodon, who's simply trying to walk by. He's like, kind of taking that old kid's approach of, hey, if I can't see you, you can't see me or hurt me. And he's trying to fall back. We get a big fat ruination go down the line, doing a load of damage, also a load of friendly fire. But hey, they're skinks. They absolutely love it. It's all part of the great plan. Horsemasters still have decent ammunition. That can be pretty crucial in the end game right now to drag down Lord Mazdamundi, who's attempting to save this Bastillodon. He pops on a to heal it, but it shatters, so unfortunately that is a waste of magic there. We do have Temple Guard coming in with Lord Mazdamundi. They can certainly do some decent numbers on the Archaon, who actually charges headlong in. I mean, he does have Cascading Fire Cloak for support, but it's still pretty scary facing Zlak toe-to-toe like that. I think the Horsemasters being alive, though very bloodied, is certainly going to turn the tide here heavily into Chaos's favor, because they can simply rain down shots. And if we have a little look around, there's not that much going on for the Lizard forces. Lord Mazdamundi is going to be popping something down. Harmonic Convergence on the Temple Guard will be buffing them greatly. They can certainly deal with the Everchosen if they're allowed to stay in combat with him. We are going to be seeing a Banishment come down, but likewise a Burning Head. Temple Guard are too slow to avoid it. They do attempt it. Banishment comes down, catching the Forsaken, doing some big damage, and it may actually turn onto the Horsemasters. You need to run, Horsemasters. Get out of here. Get out of here. No, they stand before the flames of magic, and they shall know no fear, and also take no damage, because it kind of goes round to the left. Lord Mazdamundi does have Cold-Blooded, keeping him in the action, as well as a shield of the old ones, but in comes the Dragon Ogre, his mighty axe held aloft, and he cleaves Zlak's skull in two, shattering the boy and forcing them away. GG's, that was some pretty crazy stuff. Well played to Ninja. Well played as well to the mighty and legendary Curex there. Really awesome best of 3. 2-0s to Curex. That second game, though, in particular, was very close indeed. Some Chad picks by both of them. Always good to see the Umbral Tide in action, and they did okay. They managed to whip in some damage, getting 900 damage value. Not shabby whatsoever. Pterodon's got 574, 700 on the Solar Engine. Saurus Warriors and Skinks not doing anything too crazy. Temple Guard, 600 value, 840 and 740. Mazdamundi, 2.4k damage of value. Not bad from Z-Boy. The Curex here, the ever-chosen 2.6k. He's such a good choice here up against Lizardmen, in my opinion. Like, he kills all the characters. He's got great lore of magic. Burning Hair can clear out the chaff. Really good utility character in general. Marauders across the board. The mid to low 100 damage value. Looks like the Forsaken had a really bad time as well. The highlight being 800 value, but that's it. They were the standout for them with 94 kills. Chariot's got 591 damage value. And as for the Horse Masters, 1k value, 540, 800, 260, 1.6k there on the Dragon Ogre Shagoff, who did some really good work. GG's. Close games, man. Yeah, it was a blast. GG. Awesome games. Thanks for playing, Ninja. And we'll try to hop in and see if Hanadins is playing now. See if we can catch one of his games. He might be midway for a best of 3. If he is and we can't join, I've got some replays to show off. And we'll wait for him to hop into his next one. If he's partway through and we only see like one game from him, we'll also follow him in his next best of 3 if you would like. He has ascended indeed. Do you pick Norsca and you're destined to win? Matthew Coffin's has got this game figured out. Like, he knows the game so well now, Coden. Thanks for having me. No worries, man. Always a pleasure to see you in action. Always awesome. Jason's like toad to toad. Taking on man. His toadness cares not. Yeah, those horsemen had some balls on them for sure. They had some balls on them. Forsaken never seem to perform, says Coops. Try them against Beastmen. I've actually had big success there. Big success against Beastmen. Because you can rip and tear apart like anything like the armored, and that includes their monsters. So they can do some good work, although, of course, good Beastmen players will try to skirmish you as well quite heavily. You have to kind of counterpunch that with your own horsemen and horse masters as well. So I'm going to leave Ninja there. Thank you for playing, my dude. And let's hop into multiplayer and see if we can find the legendary Hanadins. If he's in between games or if he's in a game right now. Ice Power versus Penguin. Correct. From Brindle. Hanadins, where art thou, my beautiful Hanadins? I do not see you. Let's send him a little message. Yo, dude. You still in the best of 3? Let's see if he's still in the best of 3, or if he's about to start doing one. Who do you think would be better at grinding out, Vampire Counts or Nurgle? I don't know yet. Because probably Nurgle. I would assume Nurgle. We don't know how the mechanics are going to work. They might not have healing spells. They may well have healing spells. I'm not sure. Maybe that has been revealed and I've just missed it. I have watched like all the updates and stuff as it's come out in the battles, but I've not delved super deep yet because I really want to delve into it myself. You know, get a hands-on experience with the game, see how it feels, and kind of go from there, really. Which is kind of mainly what I'm looking at. So let's quickly update the scoreboard just so the world can know, for Curex's sake, that he did get the 2-0 victory there. We've seen 2 2-0s so far. Both from Curex there and Wicked D. I give Hanins a little while to respond. I think he is mid-game right now. We might just not be able to see the lobby. Unless I'm being really blind, which is quite possible. Which is very, very possible. But I can't see one. I think we're friends as well, so I think it would pop up. I'll get in the comments to respond. If he doesn't, we'll do a replay and then try him afterwards. Hey Ducky, hope you're as quacky as ever. I'm always quacky, bro. Always quacky for sure. Hope you're all good today, man. Hope you're all good in the home, Mr. Luke Gray. Hope you're going in the Christmas spirit as well. We will probably do a Christmas stream. I mean, it's going to be tough. I'll have to do it tomorrow. Because I'm going to be going home for like 6 days. So I need to get 6 replays done in advance in like 1 day. It's going to kill me. So if you guys got good replays, now's the time to send them to me. It's going to absolutely kill me. But I think I'm doing that all on Wednesday. So most likely the last stream before Christmas could be tomorrow. So I may have to tie it in as like a bit of a Christmas stream. I think we're going to be doing a modded tournament, which should be fun. Which is the best faction in multiplayer? It depends on your playstyle, man. I'd honestly play whichever one you like. I think the overall consensus right now is it's Beastmen. That Beastmen's currently the best. Oh, so no response from Hannons just yet. Just gonna show off one replay. And if you are free, can do some live games. Yeah. Cool. So I think he started his best of 3 like 20 minutes ago. So he's probably still playing that one right now. So what we'll do is we'll show off a replay while we wait. And these are going to be tournament replays as well. Probably not going to do one which is win and loss, because you guys will know the answers to that one. Let's actually look at Handin's game. We either have one from Nameless Order or against Human Boy. So this is from the same event as well. And these, he said, with some standout games. I don't know if, like, who wins, who loses or anything, but let's just delve into this. A bit of fun. Now, do I have a screen blocker up? I do not. That is awesome stuff. So let's watch this game and see how it goes. Morally, Wood Elves are the best faction, says Benzo. I mean, they do kill a lot of people. Hey, it looks like we got some Tomb Kings versus Skaven, which is going to be pretty good fun. My BC boys finally back on top. They are back on top for sure. The best faction will always be Crooked Moon. Man, Crooked Moon are so fun to play. Full Goblin builds are really cool. They're not even like garbage either. They're not great, but they're not terrible. But anyway, for the forces of the Mighty Tomb Kings here, and Mr. Hanadin's, I believe, we have Skeleton Warriors and Skeleton Spearmen dotted all the way along the battle line. And boy, oh boy, is a bucket ton of cavalry. We have a load of horsemen, 2 units of horsemen there, backed up by 3 units of Skeleton Horse Archers. And then we have, oh, is this another unit of horsemen? Yeah, so 3 units of horsemen, plus the skeleton archers behind them, plus chariots. So a very fast mobile core to this Tomb King build, plus double carrying up in the skies. And I'm assuming Arkan the Black. When you see a lone castle like this, it tends to be him. And it is indeed Arkan the Black, looking glorious and regal as always. He's coming with a Spirit Leech, as well as Doom and Darkness, the Tomb Blade of Arkan, the Staff of Nagash, and the Liber Mortis. You normally see him leave, definitely at least with the Staff of Nagash and the Tomb Blade. They're such good items. And Liber Mortis as well is very solid indeed. He's up against Human Boy, yes, though. One of the better Skaven players in the community. Very talented dude. Really awesome guy as well, actually, by the way. If you ever do see him on quick battles, always yell quack quack at him. He's coming in with double rat ogres and double wolf rats on this right-hand side. One of which is poison, one of which is a basic. And in the main battle line, it is Skaven slaves dotted all the way along. Cheap, cheerful, not very cheerful because they're slaves, I guess, but cheap and uncheerful. Happy to die in the name of the Great Horned Rat. Double rat ogres on the left with wolf rats as well. In the center, we have the Teeth Breakers, regiment renowned Rattling Gunners, as well as some Poison Wind Globadiers on the right-hand side, and a Plague Priest in the middle, kind of the summons and the breath as you'd expect. And it looks like we might have a repeat of what we saw Wicked D do, where he has the Assassin plus Deathmaster Snickich, both being brought to the battlefield. Pretty excited to see how this one goes, so let's delve into it. Many people don't like multiplayer, I don't know why. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why so many people. I think a decent amount of people watch multiplayer. A lot of people are scared of multiplayer, right? It's like this quite daunting thing. So I actually did an event recently with Creative Assembly called Teach Me Total War to try to get new people into the game, and I really hope to do something like that with them in the start of Game 3, like as early as possible, because I think the straight in Game 3 could be when we get like, you know, this big boon in the multiplayer scene. So. It does look like Arkan flew too close to the sun there. It does get hit by an Assassin's Trophy and a Deathmaster Sigil, but is able to escape using a well-placed Skeleton Warrior Summon and Liber Mortis. He's able to get out of there without taking too much damage, and the Assassins shall be forced back. Poison Warriors are unleashing hell upon the enemy. The Carrions swoop underneath the blows, though, and manage to delve onto the Teeth Breakers, who had a Concealment Bomb popped. Doesn't look like it did them much good, as they are now forced back, but they are running rather wisely to the safety here of the mighty Rat Ogres. Chariots can be doing some nice cycle charging. The problem with the Deathmaster is he is really squishy, so big Spirit Leeches like this can really cause him trouble over the length of a battlefield. It's really cool to see a Tomb Scorpion in action as well, so this is a big blob. I don't think we have a Purple Sun. We do not. A Purple Sun down here would have been devastating. Deathmaster has taken quite a pound, and however, Karen are trying their best to shut down the back line, and dagger, scream at the Teeth Breakers here as they try their best to take down the Carrion. Aren't super effective there, unfortunately. Many of the Carrion are struggling to get up from the skies and constantly getting dragged down into this combat because one model is indeed stuck. Now, the Deathmaster takes a few shots to the face. The Rat Ogres as well will be only a 30 armor, quite punished there by enemy range. The Karen are just getting absolutely obliterated. Look at this anti-air firepower from the Teeth Breakers. I love to see it. And on the left-hand side, the mighty Clan Rat's been run over by Skeleton Chariots and Horsemen. Not a good day for them whatsoever. But the Tomb Kings are starting to push through a little bit more here with the Skeleton Chariots doing good. However, Wolf Rats will counterpunch them. And we have a lot of Wolf Rats. I know Human Boy does love them quite a bit. They should be able to circle, ensnare, and drag down the Chariots. At least you would hope so. Teeth Breakers are going to continue to fire. Right now, they're doing some pretty decent shots down into the Horsemen, followed up by Wolf Rat pressure. That will be a lot of friendly fire as well, but they absolutely love it. It's not really a Skaven game unless you're doing a load of friendly fire. Tomb Scorpion is very healthy still, does manage to pounce on the Skaven slaves, do relatively decent work there, and we have Carrion swooping in once more. Deathmaster Snickage is popping forwards. It looks like he was able to escape his earlier entrapments. Plague Priest, Deathmaster, and the Assassin all looking rather healthy, but there's still a bucket ton of skirmish cavalry left, but also back along chaff for the Skaven to hide behind. Now, the Teeth Breakers need to try and open up shots on the Tomb Scorpion. It looks like one or two of them are popping shots, but they're kind of struggling there with their line of sight a little bit. And we do get a big fat Overcast Doom of Darkness, which is this big air of effect. If it's enough to break the Rat Ogres, that's going to be absolutely huge, but it seems like they are just about being able to stabilize right now. We do get a Ushopti summon down in the back. That's going to force the Teeth Breakers as well as the Poison Globadiers to scuttle into the darkest corners of the map to try to survive. Well, it doesn't look like there's much hope here with the Teeth Breakers. They're going to get surrounded by Horsemen and Chariots alike, and it looks like finally that Skaven shell has indeed been cracked. Now, Doom of Darkness still going down. Rat Ogres are not enjoying it, but it's not enough to make them break just yet. And Deathmaster Snickage pops all his buffs, but does eat yet another Spirit Leech to the face. In the back lines here, Horsemen as well as Carrion have jumped upon the Assassin. Rival Hide Talisman does go down, though, making their effects basically useless. However, they're still boiling him down, annoying him, and making him waste that ability in a bad situation. Skeleton Chariots and Horsemen are now cleaving their way through a lot of the back line of the Skaven, who seem to be running a little bit out of steam. The Ushopti Summoner is keeping the balance power in the middle, but without them, it'd probably be slightly Skaven favoured, despite the fact their Rat Ogres are starting to get beat down pretty hard here. They still have a load of summons in the back pocket. Teeth Breakers are once again active and firing. Let's see what they are shooting at. I love to watch these guys in the battlefield. They do so much cool work and nice blitz animation as well. It looks like Skeleton Spearmen try to push in to surround the Assassin, but it looks like they're not quite going to be able to catch him here. Teeth Breakers launch a load of shots into the Skeleton Horse Archers, also catching the Plague Priest, who probably won't be too happy with them, but they're going to die anyway if the Skeleton Chat's been used to hover on them and shut them down. We're going to get yet another Spirit Leech onto the Deathmaster. This is what you do with Archon. Spirit Leech, Spirit Leech, Spirit Leech all day long. He's so good at it. Due to his items and abilities, he can really spam them very, very quickly and effectively through the course of a whole battle. Now, if we take an overarching view, Tomb Kings are starting to struggle a little bit with their infantry. However, their skirmish cav is still very strong. Rat Ogres, though, and Poison Globadiers still looking scarily healthy here in the latter stages of the game. The Teeth Breakers, unfortunately, are shattered. That is all she wrote for them. They did get 12 kills, however, and not much damage value whatsoever, actually. That's rather surprising. I guess they were shooting Carrion and Horsemen rather than high-value targets. Horsemen attempt to chase off the Rat Ogres, but they do rally to come back and live and fight another day. Spearmen are drowned in a tide of plague and are not having a fun day whatsoever. However, Deathmaster Snickage is terrified, and this could be really bad for him. He can be run down now by the Horse Archers or even Archon himself, and it is going to come down to the cavalry play of Hanadins here in the latter stages of this battle to try to seal victory, because we still have an Assassin, we still have a Plague Priest, we still have the Deathmaster, and a decent amount of Rat Ogres on the field, though they are slowly being whittled down here by good pressure coming in from the Skeleton Horse Archers, and of course Archon the Black constantly spamming Spirit Leeches wherever possible, and a lot of Horsemen are pushing through now onto the Poison Globadiers. Carrion are also swooping down trying to peck at their masks. Luckily, they wore them today, but Archon the Black is also in here, and the Rat Ogres are being forced back by the mere presence of someone as powerful as Archon the Black. They're starting to waver and perhaps break relatively soon. Crazy close game so far. Skeleton Horse Archer is going to continue to rain shots in. Tomb Scorpion, very powerful here. Also, probably wants to push after the Deathmaster, who does have concealment bombs popped, though, so at the moment, the Tomb King player doesn't know of his existence, of course. And the Tomb Scorpion, gonna be running, gonna be legging it. The Deathmaster Snickish might be able to pin him in place. I believe the Deathmaster Sigil can only be used on heroes, though. Yeah, Lords of Heroes, damn it. That'd been so nice to pop in that Tomb Scorpion and drag it down, but it's probably gonna get killed here anyway. The Deathmaster doing some nice damage. Tomb Scorpion accepts its fate and is just gonna turn to engage and try and do as much damage as possible. The Deathmaster only has 950 HP, so 1 or 2 big hits and he goes down very quickly, but is able to slaughter the Tomb Scorpion there and hopefully push on. But it looks like whilst this was going on, the remainder of the Skaven forces are really starting to buckle. The horsemen are just driving forward relentlessly after them time and time again, and a lot of the Skaven forces are actually shattering now. We still have skeleton spearmen, we still have some chariots, but is it enough to kill a plague priest and the double assassin? This is so funny how similar ending this is to the game we saw earlier on with Wicked D, where he just had this little Skaven hero call out trying to cling on for dear life, but he was able to put it out. Will the Skaven be able to do it as well? We do get a fat Spirit Lich go down on the Plague Priest, which, you know, is going to slowly whittle it down. The Skeleton Horse Archers are going to be poking forwards as well, trying to do some damage. Skaven players simply going to be juking back and forth, trying to waste as many shots as possible. It's not easy for Plague Priest, unfortunately. He's a rather large and slowish contraption. Rat Ogres do shatter here, unfortunately, and now every single arrow is going to be loosed. Probably best put it into the Plague Priest just to save your infantry as well as your horsemen, and then you cycle charge the cavalry in the latter stages of the game. Likewise, it buys more and more time for Spirit Leech spam. Just constantly drop that on Deathmaster and you'll be in a good place. Looks like he actually focuses down the Deathmaster, which again isn't a bad idea. He only has, what, pitiful like 30 armor or something, which isn't much whatsoever. The horsemen will be falling back in all directions as the skeleton chariots do rumble forward. Now the assassin takes a load of big shots. Oh, he's weakening all 3 units, but is it going to be enough? They are dwindling really badly on ammo right now. 4 ammunition on 1 unit, 2 on the other, and we do get the Deathmaster Sigil. The assassin leaps and bounds into carnage. Assassin's Trophy goes down. Ark in the Black, though, is supported by a bucket ton of cavalry who swoop in and allow him to escape. That Deathmaster Sigil does not last too long, and he falls back, and it breaks the assassin. The Deathmaster up to 90 kills now. A whirling Weeping Blades is brought forth underneath his cloak, doing a load of damage, but he is now surrounded by more foes than friends. Plague Priest is needed to clear out all of this chaff here. Assassin being broken like this is really rough. He kind of got a little excited and charged ahead of the Deathmaster to try to kill Ark in the Black, but unfortunately went down, and that looks like it's going to be GG's and a victory for the mighty Hanadins there. Really awesome game. Very well played to Human Boy Yes Yes as well. Very impressive his build, and his micromanagement of his Wolf Rats was good, but alas, it was not enough. Hanadins was simply too mighty. Ark in the Black came in with 1,495 damage value, proving why he is probably the best and most competitive lord for the Tomb Kings. Spirit Leech with the Staff and the Gash is just so delicious. It is so, so delicious. Still no Dowie? Did we not get a Dowie game earlier? Caligar, I will try and find one for you. Just for you, buddy. I'm going to try and find one. The infantry, of course, of the Tomb Kings is relatively poor damage value-wise, but nothing to be unexpected there. Relatively low damage value. The cavalry got 520, 240, 1.1k damage value, which is very nice. Chariots 700, 700, and 450. Skirmish cavalry in the mid-hundreds as well. So a bit of a team effort all across the board. Tomb Scorpion, unfortunately, isolated and killed there. Only 470 value on that bad boy. As for Human Boy Yes Yes, Deathmaster Snickich got 1.2k damage value and 92 kills. Assassin got 800 damage value and 1.2 on the Plague Priest and 150 kills. Very impressed with the Plague Priest recently on their furnaces. They can do some really juicy value there. The Skaven Slayers, as expected, performed pretty poorly. The Poison Globadiers got 947 damage value and 100 kills, which is nice. Teeth Breakers being, unfortunately, very underwhelming there. The Rat Ogres as well. No, not Rat Ogres. The Wolf Rat's not getting amazing damage there, and neither did the Rat Ogres, unfortunately. But GG's, very well played by both those lads there. That was a pretty awesome game, to say the least. Double check to see if Hand is back. You can come. I'm in Human Boy lobby. I'll catch you for the next best of 3. No worries. No worries. Let me know when you are ready. So we can keep doing replays for a little bit. Just while we wait for Hannon to be ready. I think he's in the middle of a best of 3. And it's probably still playing right now. Dude, he says in Human Boys lobby, which might be Rat versus World? I have no idea what Human Boys lobby would be called. But I do not see it. So we'll let them finish that, and we'll just hop into some more fun replays. So we also have another Tomb King run from Hanadins up against Lizardmen, but it's not the dwarfs, which kind of sucks. We could always do a quick battle and show the dwarfs. But I know we're here more for replays than me playing today. Honestly, I never use warp grinders. They can be useful for sure. An official rank system in Game 3 would make multiplayer way more enticing. 100%. Official rank system, a league system. So, you know, like platinum, diamond, gold, silver, bronze system. So stop new players running into like super talented competitive players in your first game. You're always playing people at the same level as you. Rewards for completing seasons and like doing good stuff. It's all like pretty basic stuff, but like it would help multiplayer massively. I think all that stuff's really key. I also think coming into it, like bonuses would be like having a tournament system built into the game rather than having to use things like challenge and Discord. Actually having a system in game would be really nice. I think those are some like huge things that they could do for sure. For sure. Alright, let's hop into this replay, and then hopefully by that Hanadins will be out of his best of 3, and we'll all hop into the next one. Because we just missed him there. Because we were doing this replay, and he was, I guess, in between his best of 3s. But we do have Hanadins versus Nameless Order here. Tomb Kings versus Lizardmen. Pretty excited. Pretty excited to see how this goes. Let's pop this in slow motion and go through the build. So, for the Force of Tomb Kings, seeing the Bony Boys twice in 2 replays. It's a little bit of a treat for you guys out there who do love the Tomb Boys. We have a load of Skeleton Warriors dotted through the front line, as well as Spearmen guarding the flanks. We do have the double Skeleton Chariot in the middle, and a couple of Ushopti. We have Ushopti Great Bows, and more Ushopti Great Bows. No Regiment Renowned, unfortunately, for them. Some Tomb Guard in the center, just to make it a little bit more meaty. We do have Carrion up in the skies, and then some more Horsemen. So a very different style of approach from what we saw in the previous game here by Hanadins. He does have the Eyes of the Desert as well. The sneakiest of all snakes, a very powerful tool. Very good for guarding the back line. I really love the models here. Look at those snakes slithering in. Color scheme on point. We once again have Ark in the Black coming with the same tool set, but no Doom and Darkness this time, just the Spirit Leech. As for the forces of the mighty Lizardmen, looks like it's a real far back deployment. We do have cavalry on the left hand and right hand flanks, feral cold ones as well as cold one riders. Looks like that's on both sides. We also have, I thought it was the Hand of the Gods. No, guys, I thought that was Krotgar coming in, but it's Oxyotl in the front, peppering down the enemy. A really good choice. I do love the Doom Skink, it must be said. Calcamel of Chameleon Skinks on the right-hand side. We also have Terran Riders up in the skies, looking to bring the pain, and Chameleon Stalkers on the left. In the main battle line, it is Saurus Warriors galore, dotted all the way along, with the cohort of Sotek, and a Skink Priest of Beast, Flock of Doom, and Manticore Summon. Should be a good, fun time. So without further ado, let's delve into this one. So Oxyotl's going to be popping forward. He has popped on him Master Predator, so he should hopefully be invisible. I had a game the other day, though, where my Oxyotl definitely did not like being invisible. He kept popping himself uninvisible. It was very annoying. But he is running up and down the line now, poking some shots into the Skeleton Chariots, which isn't a bad target whatsoever. Now, the Chameleon Skinks have been spotted. They don't have the best targets here. Shielded Skeleton Warriors with 120 models in a unit. Yeah, it's not going to do much damage to them at all, unfortunately. Not be very cost effective. Tomb King's just going to be repositioning as the Lizardmen do a slow advance. And there's no need for them to rush here. They have the range advantage in a way with all these skirmishes. Unless you Ushopti want to start wasting shots upon them to try to drag them down. Yeah, I know the score's still up because we're going to be hopping into the next one. So you can just ignore the score for there. It's still there from the previous Vim. Oxyotl is me falling back here as the Saurus Warriors shall be moving forward, looking to close ranks around him. Skeleton Chariot's pretty good against Saurus regardless, though. They're actually going to go after the cohort of Sotek, which is a good target here. They do pop Refuse to Die and counter charge, but look at that HP drop. One charge down to half HP. Absolutely absurd damage from the Skeleton Chariots. We'll be paying for it, though, here. Taking some damage from the Chameleon Skinks, who continue to kite backwards. Pterodons have likewise been forced off. Column Riders looking to snap up the enemy cavalry on the flanks. Now, Column Riders are pushing forward. Saurus Warriors as well, looking to engage with Skeleton Warriors. More Warriors are moving around on the left-hand side here. Oxyotl is very healthy, of course. He's been moving forward. He's very good at poking down Arkan, but he's the other side of the battlefield at the moment, unfortunately. Cavalry has managed to ensnare the chariots, looking to drag them down where possible, and feast upon rider and steed alike, though. They won't have particularly good meal. It will be a rather bony here. Terran Riders trying to support. The Chameleons have been jumped, though. Some spooky ghouls from the deep. The Skeleton Warriors have been summoned behind them. And over in this left-hand flank, Carrion and Horsemen will be going down to the combined might of Cold Ones and Feral Ones. However, there are Skeleton Spearmen here supporting. Looks like both the Chameleon Skinks are about to go down as well. So lovely catch on the left-hand side by the Tomb King player all round. Saurus Warriors continue to try to grind through the front line as much as physically possible. The Eyes of the Desert as well, popping shot after shot into the enemy as they advance. You can see, though, the cavalry surging forward through the Saurus, rampaging towards the Eyes of the Desert. Should be able to do some relatively decent damage on them, but the Skeleton Spearmen are pushing forward in order to support. Oxyotl is poking down the Ushopti, but he's not honestly done too much today so far, and we're about to see yet another summon. However, I think this time it's about to be a Manticore summon because the Tomb Kings look like they're in a really dominant position. A lot of the cavalry is getting pegged in and dealt with by spears and Ushopti alike. We have two Cohort of Sotek. I don't know where the other one is. Is that him over there, just vibing? It is. He's just chilling, having a bit of an existential crisis. It's okay, buddy. We've all been there. Two Cohort of Sotek left, trying to chase... Oh, wait, no, they're there? But there's a Cohort of Sotek there, and there's two there, but there's only two models. I don't know what's going on, but the Cohort of Sotek, they need to get going and get in action here. Chameleon Stalker's going to be trying to jump on the Ushopti. Manticore gets absolutely obliterated. It comes in to try to snipe Arkan, and instead it sniped its own life. We also get the lovely Ushopti summon brought behind this meaty wall of Saurus Warriors, and balance of power is currently in the Tomb King favor. I can certainly see the Ushopti coming in and carving their way through many a Saurus. Now, Oxyottl's still alive and healthy, pretty much full health at the moment, which is good news for him. The Ushopti are being driven back, but they should be able to get relatively safe once more. All the Chameleon Skinks have been allowed to rally, which is really bad news here for the mighty Tomb King forces. Skeleton Chariots are delving in to the Feral Cold Ones, but Feral Cold Ones are an okay counter to Chariots. They'll do a decent job trying to pull them apart here. Now, something that's going really good for the Tomb Kings is the Eyes of the Desert are so healthy in the central pocket. Saurus Warriors are really starting to carve through the Skeleton Spearmen, though, winning a lot of these engagements. However, the Ushopti summon has broken this unit of Saurus Warriors and has started to turn the tide. But even with that summon on the battlefield, balance power is still basically dead. Even Oxyotl needs to get his sniping boots on and start taking out Arkan the Black, otherwise he's going to cause him all kinds of problems. Now, the right-hand flank was eventually won here by the Dino Boys. They need to continue to push in at all costs, but this could be a big play. Saurus Warriors have ensnared Arkan the Black here. Cold Ones, though, going to continue their pursuit of the Ushopti. They do get hit here by the Spirit Leech, which is pretty bad news for them. And once again, we have the Cohort of Sotek fighting on up against the Ushopti. Only two models left, but hey, at least it is distracting them. We also get a Manticore summon. Probably wants to be used to snipe Arkan at this point and get him off the battlefield, but that's easier said than done, particularly with the Eyes of the Desert opening up with a barrage onto the Manticore, who's not having a good day whatsoever. He saw his brother die, and now he's been summoned perhaps to a similar fate, trying to kill Arkan the Black, but Arkan is a slippery devil indeed. With the support of Oxyotl, though, I expect he may be able to complete that task. Arkan is moving directly into a trap he does not even know exists here. Oxyotl needs to start shooting Arkan. He's kind of firing shots off at the Skeleton Warriors instead. Chameleon Stalkers are moving forward as well, trying to support the Manticore push. Arkan does finally start taking some pretty big hits there. Saurus are easy to grind through all this infantry, but the Ushopti continue to fire. We have Feral Cold Ones diving on top of them, and still the two Cohort of Sotek are bashing helplessly against the Ushopti, trying to bring them down, but they don't have the numbers, which is really sad to see. The poor little Skinkies trying their best. Oxyotl does whip a shot just wide of Arkan there. It looks like it clipped his horse, though, and at least did some damage. Feral Cold Ones will be getting dispatched and dealt with. Very close game. We still have all these Chameleon Skinks left. The Saurus are doing a fantastic job. However, the Tomb Guard are also being quite problematic for them here. Up to 45 kills. We also have some more Skeleton Spearmen looking rather healthy. Cohort continue to push forward aggressively and charge down the enemy. Is this still that skink? No, it's not. Okay, it was a clump of grass there. Oxyotl is continue shooting. He's now aiming at the Eyes of the Desert, which isn't a bad idea whatsoever to try to get them off the field. But Arkan is ripe for the taking. Saurus Warriors are eventually beating down the enemy, though we can see a Spirit Leech catching the Saurus, who are desperately attempting to get to grips with the Eyes of the Desert and stop them using their ranged prowess on the battlefield. Chameleon Skinks wrapping up and around, just peppering down Ushopti. We're also going to see a rather nasty Flock of Doom come down here from that pesky Skink Priester Beast. Going to be catching a considerable amount of units here as the Saurus do claim victory in the infantry fight, though it did take them a rather long time. Still 23 shots on Oxyotl. He can certainly rack up that value as the game goes on, and the Skirmishers just peppering down the Ushopti where possible, which I think is a very good target for them. It looks like he is firing. Let's see what he's shooting into. It might actually be the sneaky snakes here. It is indeed, and he managed to explode one of the models of arcane magic as his blowpipe finds a crack in their armor. Source Warriors are trying their best here, but they are up against Tomb Guard as well as Archon and a bucket and a bowfire. A well-placed Skeleton Warrior summon is going to catch out the Chameleon Skinks, who need to try to retreat back to relative safety. Oxotl slowly, very slowly racking up that kill count. Up to 48 kills now. The Eyes of the Desert not having the best of days. They are able to turn around, though, and fight the Cold Ones, in fact, shattering them on approach. My god, how have the Eyes of the Desert done so far? They're up to 1,000 value, which isn't too bad. Chameleon Stalkers are going to be jumping up on top of them. This annoying Skeleton Warrior summon is going to be a big problem for the Lizardmen, and there's probably quite a lot more left in the tank as well. We haven't seen Archon use too many summons yet today. The majority of the Lizardmen forces are running for their life. However, Oxotl is continuously picking at Archon like an annoying scab, trying to drag him down. Up to 49 kills, and he does have that... I'm trying to think what it's actually called. Scaling damage there you go. So the weaker the foe is, the more damage he's going to do. So he might be able to 1 or 2 shot Archon here. But unfortunately, he does miss. The shot going haplessly over. And some poor Skeleton Warriors eating the bullet instead. But they won't mind whatsoever. Looks like Archon is able to dodge so far. Some good juking coming in. However, we do have the Lizardmen rallying here to the cause. Trying to hold back the forces of evil. As Archon is just clinging on to dear life right now. Except continue to try to hunt him down. We do have Source Warriors coming back, but you shop to a very healthy ammunition and HP wise, and the majority of the Lizardmen are starting to break and run for cover. 16 Source Warriors remain here. We have the Skink Priest. Archon is tanking shots like a champ. Took out 300 damage from that one. He is pushing forward as well, which is a bold play indeed. If Oxotl is able to pop 1 or 2 more shots into him, he could really butter his bread, but despite that, I think these shop tiers are simply too numerous. Oxotl isn't really able to kite back super effectively either if he doesn't have the support to do so. And it looks like the majority of his troops are running away. We have some Saurus Warriors running though, so they can certainly come back, continue to push towards the enemy, and allow Oxotl to kite backwards nice and effectively. Skink Priest has been dealt with here. The Archon the Black is going to be chasing him down. Doesn't want to take any prisoners today. Wants to carve him into little pieces and feast upon his blood. Source Warriors are returning. Tomb Guard should probably push out and finish these guys off, you would think. Although they might not be super confident doing so. They are a little bit outnumbered there. The longer they kite back and retreat, the more time it allows Oxotl to snipe other key elements. Up to 52 kills so far, but Archon still lives, and he's staying well away right now from Oxotl at all costs. We'll see the Staff Nagash come down. He's looking for that little devil so he can start Spirit Leeching him and hunt him down where possible. So you should be able to do some decent work there. Ushopti are moving forwards, and it looks like the green one has been spotted. Ushopti not going to be taken too kindly to him. Oxotl is running for his life. Maybe he will be able to cloak himself once more. Looks like the Boshopti going to be going after the Saurus Warriors, and they will be feeling this. Only 20 models left on both units. They are not going to be around for too long once Ushopti really start racing those shots in and decapitating warriors left, right, and center. Archon the Black is just, staying long way away from Oxotl, which is 100% the play. Oxotl is doing some decent work, though. The Eyes of the Desert are going down quite quickly here, and it could come down to him versus the Ushoptian Spearmen in combat, which I don't think would go well for Oxotl without the ground support, who are trying desperately to get nearby. He needs to pop a cold-blooded on them to keep them in the action, otherwise the Saurus will not make it. It looks like he does pop a cold-blooded. Very well placement there by the Lizardmen player, keeping these guys in the fight and trying his best to drag down the Eyes of the Desert. Oxotl is wavering, and he does break. However, the Tomb Kings just barely scrape through there and claim victory. A Pyrrhic victory if ever I've seen one, though. Well played to Nameless Order, well played to Handins, both very good players, by the way. Nameless Order, I faced him a few times on quick battles. Awesome dude and very talented player. His build was pretty cool. 3,000 damage value and 59 kills on Oxotl is very impressive for sure. The rest of the build, let's see, 500 damage value from Chameleon Stalkers is okay. Source Warriors in the high kill count there. Damage value-wise, more in the mid to high hundreds, which certainly isn't too shabby. Korosote got obliterated by chariots, which is a shame. Does make me feel all sad inside. Chameleons didn't do too much there, and the Feral Cold Ones as well as the Cold Rise did okay dealing with the chariots, but that was about it. Pterodons just kind of got handled. As for Hanadins, Archon the Black, 50 kills, 1.3k damage value. You love to see it. Skeleton Warriors across the board did okay. Nothing too crazy in the low hundreds, but hey, that's their job. Tomb Guard performed much better with 61 kills and just shy of 800 damage value. Horsemen did not too much. The Chariots, however, did amazing. 115 kills, 1,705 damage value is really good. The other one struggling, getting surrounded by cavalry early days. The Shopti, 999 damage value and 525. Eyes of the Desert, 1.3k damage value. Very impressive stuff indeed. Let's delve back now in to see if we can get any live games crack-a-lacking. Let's see. Taco Ent ladder. Oh, I don't think Taco is on any of the teams. I queued. I'll let you know when I get one. I got one versus Taco. Awesome. On my way. We may be getting Flying Taco versus Hanadins. Let's try and join it. Please. Please let there be time. Hello, I'm sitting in my car listening right before I go into work. Was that wicked? Yeah, amazing games earlier, man. Amazing games. Whack. I believe Mario is Flying Taco. If this is Flying Taco, we're in for a treat, guys. We are in for a treat. It's Flying Taco. It's the boy. It's the boy. How's it going? Let's update the scoreboard quickly. And reset the scores. Boop, 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 boop. It should be 0-0. Let's change the text. It is Flying Taco. I'm going to pick Flying... Oh, I'm going to pick Taco. Because that is the name he is most known by you guys at home, probably. So it is Taco versus Hanodens. This will probably be the last best of 3, I think we do. For today's stream, because we're also going to be streaming tomorrow. And I got a lot of replays. I still got today's video to make as well. That'll be out this evening, like a little bit later, probably about 10 PM. What's up? We chilling? I'll go VP. Taco v Hanodens is going to be awesome. Hey, in the lobby, I'm dad. Wow, Will. Wow, you really just pulled that one out, didn't you? Do you think we'll ever get a true historic war wagons? So, like, a wagon unit with, like, 8 to 10 wagons that can be used to make a barricade? I doubt it. I like the idea, but I don't think we're likely to see that. Quickly, pop up this as well. Oop. Lizardmen. Oh, I don't know what he picked and banned originally. It looks like Hannon's not having to face the Lizardmen, but he's got VP, which notoriously have historically been good against Lizardmen, but less so now. It's a little bit more even. Taco trying to win my heart with the Dino pick. I wanted the dreaded undead matchups as Hanadins. Give me all the undead. I demand them. I shall feast upon them. Yeah, wicked. Hope work goes well for you, man. Really awesome games, by the way. Well played. I'm also probably going to do your replays as, the replays you send me as actual, like, videos. So, I'm not going to be showing those all off on live stream today, but we are going to be casting them, which is pretty cool. So if you have any more fun videos, by the way, over the course of this event, feel free to shoot them across to me. I've asked Energize if he wants to do the same thing as well. Maybe if Energize is available straight after this, we may do one more best of 3 of him in it. Maybe. Maybe game 2 can be a VC mirror. Oh. Oh. I'm pretty excited to see how Taco takes on the VP here. I think he's got a lot of decent tools to do that. I hadn't seen Coast in a while, so it was kind of fun to bring them. Fun is open to interpretation. Hey, it was a good game, man. That first game, though, the Assassin Little Death Core, like, clinging on was amazing. Particularly when the Phoenix got its rebirth, and still Deathmark Snicket just like, stab, 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 like, constantly in its back, and eventually dragged it down. So, Doug, if you could have any artillery or ranged unit mounted on a Bastillodon, what would you want? I would want a Bastillodon with a mounted Bastillodon on it. So you have a Bastillodon with a Bastillodon riding it, and that Bastillodon has a solar engine on its head. That's what I would want. Double Bastillodon. Just pew pew all day long. Shooting left, right, and center. Ready when you are. Looks like Hanadin's is ready to rumble. I can see Taco's build right now. It's kind of weird because we did the Ultra Funds tournament recently, so now when I look at builds, I'm like, is that it? Is that all you can afford, Saruman? Is this all you can conjure? Because I'm so used to Ultra Funds instead of large funds. That rebirth scared you? Oh, for sure. Yeah, Queen Bess would also be a classic. Although I think Queen Bess should be mounted on like a crab or something. Mounted on a crabbo. I think that could do pretty good bits. Let's see if good luck, have fun. Mr. Taco, be ready. Let's delve into this best of 3. Just taking a little sip of my drink there. A little steep. Rattling Gunners and Bastillodon would be cool. The ultimate one for me, though, still is going to be a Gyrocopter with Iron Drakes hanging off the side. With their flamethrowers. Is that why you said earlier, where'd all his money go? Yeah. I'm like, where's all the money gone? Like, what? Like, it's so weird. It's so weird going from all I've been casting recently is those Ultra Funds. Last 3 or 4 live streams were Ultra Fun streams, so it's kind of crazy to hop back into normal funds, you know? So let's take away that. Boop, and get back here. So for Mr. Taco, the Flying Meister himself, I don't know if he's playing for a team or if he's just playing for the memes or for the Taco gods. It could be either one, but let's have a look at his build. It is Chameleon Skinks, 2 on the right-hand side, 2 Stalkers on the left. Main battle line is Cohort of Sotek, Star Chamber Guardians, and a load of Skink cohorts, as well as red-crested Skinks. Interesting stuff for sure. We have a Fel Bastillodon. Now, the reason Taco might be taking this is because I insult the Fel Bastillodon, like, on a regular basis. I do not think it's worth the ground, the air it's taken up. It's not worth it. And, like, I know I get a lot of flack from that, and Taco himself's like, no, the Bastillodon's amazing, so he's going to bring it here to show me wrong and prove that the Bastillodon can put in a shift. We have a Quattle up in the sky. We also have Lord Mazdamundi down on the ground with a Net Apotheosis, as well as Star Chamber Guardians. Pretty ballsy to bring Mazdamundi here, but he is a Quattle, so it's certainly worth it, and I actually really like this pick, due to the fact Sirens are so popular in this matchup. And speaking of Sirens, they could be in trouble. We have 4 units of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plenty for 2 banishments and 2 ruinations to gobble up. We have double Gunnery White on the ground, as to be expected, alongside Count Noculus with Raised Dead and Invocation of Nahek. Load of undead forces, zombie, pirate deckhand mobs dotted through the front. Backed up here by the Gunnery Mob handgunners. Pretty cool stuff. Unfortunately, no Depth Guard, which does break my little duck heart. No Depth Guard polearms, but hey, maybe one day we'll get to see the bad boys in glorious action. Off to work for Friday for me. Have a great rest of the stream and day. No worries, man. See you soon. Don't bully Barry. He's trying his Armadino best. What? Hey, I still like him. Like, I'll give him a little pat on the head for you guys, but a little like, boop, boop. Just because I think you're bad doesn't mean I don't love you. But, yeah. I don't know. I just think that you should just always invest in a Stegodon, like, every time instead. Or get like an Arcosotech or a Solar Engine. It's always worth the points increase. But if you've got some cheap money left, I'm not saying it's like not ever worth taking, but it's very limited. Queen Stalkers flying around the wings, looking to hunt down the enemy where possible. Flying Taco shall be moving forward and getting nice and aggressive. Good to see him bringing a duck to the battlefield as well. Once again, trying to win my heart. The gigantic beast of 1,000 ducks coming into action. Good luck, have fun, says the boys. The Star Chamber Guardians as well, just kind of vibing. There's no, like, super long range either, like, to pressure, like mortars or cannons. But with the Gunnery Whites, there's a good chance they might start focusing down the Quat, although it looks like a tactical retreat so far for the Lizardmen in the main force, and a big flank overload. Look at this coming from the trees. Almost half of the Lizardmen force pushing through this side, and whilst the rest pulls back, just trying to mess up the positioning of the VP as best as possible. Gunnery Whites, though, are going to move into the Skink cohorts, and they'll be able to stop their advance in its tracks there and do some pretty big damage. We do get a little Arcane Conduit to go down and Count Noculus, and look at this fire. Oh my god. The Koala needs to get out of there. Apotheosis is going to come down. That should be able to heal some of its wounds, but that's a lot of damage straight out the gate. Sirens are bouncing around, trying to finish off skink cohorts where possible. Big fat ruination comes down and some nice damage to the handgunners. And it looks like the cohort of Sotek are able to push into the back line. Sirens a little bit slow off the draw here. Do need to move forward and engage. Now the Quartal does do magic damage, which is pretty scary. And maybe one of the Finns hindering them from really getting down and dirty and advancing. Quartal is taking some pretty impressive damage right now, but its healing certainly has helped. So on the right hand side you can see Barry here who's just not done anything so far. He's now jumping after those some rotting flesh, looking to finish them off. We do get a fat banishment and chain lightning combo coming down. Combo move on top of the zombies as well as Orion's Thunderbolt. That's doing some massive damage to the enemy range, which is quite a nice pick. Now down here in the middle we do have a Wraith Storm coming in. It's going to do some okay damage there, nothing too crazy. Chameleon Stalkers are also in the back line. Sirens are being a bit of a nuisance. Star Chamber Guardians also do magic damage, so I do think the Lizardmen came very, very prepared for the enemy to bring mass Sirens, and that's just what they did. But the Sirens are still causing quite a lot of chaos in the right positions. Paladins obviously has some good target priority. Looks like the Gunnery Whites are now stuck in a rather dangerous situation with Lord Mazdamundi. We do have the Temple Guard as well, who can move forward to assist. Count Noctis is also stuck in here. Our Lord Mazdamundi has taken considerable damage at the moment. Sirens are now pushing in on the Red Crested, looking to do some pretty big damage. Now, Barry is slowly trying to make his way to the battlefield. He's up to 5 impressive kills. Sirens are chasing off the Chameleon Skinks, which is a little bit unfortunate for them. Apotheosis is going down on Lord Mazdamundi here by Flying Taco. Really good play. Pulling him back, you know, just keep him nice and healed. He's got plenty left in the tank and plenty more he can heal. Very close game. Banspire is currently in favour of Hanadins, however, as all of the kind of like skink units, again, butchered where they stand. We still have, though, all the big heavy hitters plus the Star Chamber Guardians, although Double Gunnery White can be pretty naughty and nasty. Looks like we'll be, interesting enough, get an Invocation Heck on some handgunners, which is a bit of a wild play, but I guess it's just trying to keep them alive, keep that range potential going. Skinks, unfortunately, are getting roasted a little bit here. Still loads of big, nasty single entities. Sirens need to be used to chase off the Skinks as well as the Stalkers, because they can't really tussle with the Quartal, unfortunately, or the Star Chamber Guardians, who need to be dragged down by other means. Now, Count Noctis is well and truly on that. The big Zlak trying his best. He's got an Apotheosis on himself, and he is trampling over Count Noctis at the moment. He also has the Bastildon in here. Barry charging down the Gunnery Whites, looking to overwhelm them. Star Chamber Guardians also looking to fall back here. They don't want to get ensnared by zombie pirate deck cam mobs. It's not a fight that's really worth their time. We're about to see a nasty Thunderbolt come down, do some massive damage to that Gunnery White. My god, that really did clobber him quite badly, but they are being used to pin in Lord Mazdamundi, whilst Count Noctis does the damage. I like this play quite a bit here, although Mazdamundi is a tough boy indeed. He may well be able to escape this. One Gunnery Crabbo looking rather weak. We are going to see a big fat banishment go down, but it's actually going to catch more Star Chamber Guardians than it does Sirens, which is a really bad blow, but there you go. Now it's going to rotate it onto them. It's all part of the plan. And big damage done to both forces there, but probably worth it to get these Sirens off the battlefield. 45 Sirens are chasing Lord Mazdamundi. He is not enjoying that whatsoever. As for the Gunnery Whites, one of them is getting a little bit danger low, but it seems like it has now been healed up once more. What a scrap we have on our hands right here. This is some crazy stuff. So we have Skin Cohorts coming back to the fight. Lord Mazdamundi is turning around, and he is bounding towards Count Noculus. Count Noculus is so goddamn tanky. I don't think he's really going to mind. We do get yet another Apotheosis on Mazdamundi, so he's looking very healthy. Star Chamber Guardians are being used to drive back the Sirens and stop them from protecting the Gunnery Whites, who are currently dealing with Barry as well as the Quartal. Get in there, Barry. Do some work. He's up to an impressive 300 damage value so far, but you never know. He might be able to drag it back and crack the shell of this Crabbo. It looks like Lizardmen forces are coming back. We have some Sirens in the distance. They're simply hunting down Chameleon Skinks, who've now used up all their ammunition. The Sirens are like, cool, you're now not worth my time. And we're going to float back over to the main fight. Very close stuff so far. Bastildon is still trying to bully the Gunnery Whites. Count Noctis is nearby, though, and it looks like Lord Mazdamundi is taking considerable damage. Still has 2,000 HP, but for him, that's not much. For anyone else, that'd be a bucket ton of HP. Barry is continuing to wail on this Gunnery White, though Count Noctis has come over to say, hello, my friend. What are you doing here, and what are you doing to my beloved Crabbies? Sirens are now being hunted down by the Quartal, and don't count out the Quartal. It's got some really powerful late-game cycle charging potential on that bad boy. Sirens are moving in for the kill now that the Star Chamber Guardians are so desperately low and don't have that many people left fighting. We do get an Apotheosis plus Cold Blood once again on Lord Mazdamundi. He's been healed up so much in this battle, and he is up to 146 kills to pay for it. A Wraith Storm does come down. Mazdamundi is up, though, to 2.7k damage value. Very impressive work. Gunnery Whites have basically full ammo, though, and can really whittling down from long range if they're enabled to. I don't know if they're going to get the chance. Instead, they're moving into hand-to-hand combat with the support of the Sirens. 1.3k HP here from the Lizard Boy himself. A lot of the infantry is starting to go down, but the Star Chamber Guardians do break and run. Count Noctilus is taking on Barry one-on-one and being rather victorious here, though he's getting knocked down quite a bit as well by the Quartal. Lord Mazdamundi does disappear, abandoning poor Zlak. Look at his corpse unceremoniously slumped on the ground. Sad day for Dino kind. Elsewhere, the Quartal is starting to be surrounded. Barry gives up hope. He sees Zlak fall, and Zlak's basically like a god to him. He worships him, but he is dead, so he also flees. And the Quartal, though mighty, is not able to drag down the mighty Krabos, and the VP shall be victorious. Game 1 to Team Quack and the mighty Hanadins up against a very tough opponent in the form of Flying Taco. Go, my last skinky, go. Unfortunately, he did indeed go to the afterlife. Very well played. Well, very well played. That was some pretty insane stuff. Pretty insane stuff for sure. Well played to Taco Meister. Again, absolutely the best he could out of Mazdamundi. 2.8k damage value is impressive, and 147 kills, not too bad whatsoever. Those skins across the board didn't get much value, unfortunately, anywhere. The Code of Sotek being the best of them, and 740 damage value for them with 102 kills. 975 for the Star Chamber Guardians and 129 kills, not too bad whatsoever. Camo said okay. Barry, hey, he got 700 value, okay? 700. I think he's, what, 750 gold? So not quite paying for himself, but he nearly got there. 1.6k for the Quartals, not too bad, and 94 kills. As for Hanadins, 1.8k on Count Noctilus is nice and juicy. 1.3 and 1.9 on the Gunny Whites. It's such a deadly hero and Lord core that we see time and time again because it is so deliciously powerful. The Undead Ground Forces did basically nothing. Sirens with 0 value here. Their job, though, was just to chase away chameleons and absorb damage. 650, 300, and 400 value. The Handgunners, 350, 380, 895. It really did come down to those heroes and lords at the end of the day. GG. Epic stuff. Nope, didn't mean to do that in cap blocks, but hey, you get me yelling at you guys. So let's quickly update the scoreboard. That is going to be 1-0 so far to the mighty Hanadins. Whoop. And let's delve into this once more. Hanadins is going to go Chaos and High Elves. We might get to see some cool High Elf in action. No Dowie so far, which is a bit of a shame. Hopefully we'll get to see some Dwarves at some point. Oof, not the Long Dark. Oh no, what was the Long Dark? Rev Crystals have 7 uses. Oh, you mean the Quartal. Rev Crystals have 7 uses of 624 single target heals that can resurrect. They do, yes. HP numbers might be slightly off. I don't remember the cooldown, but it's kind of long. It's hard to get them. Yeah, the problem is you can't normally get them to pop all the time. You know, like, you won't normally get through them all. He's only 600 gold. Hey, look, he paid for himself. Barry did good. Good boy, Barry. He, like, nudged some crabs for a while. I hope you realize how much work he put in. I told chat you would bring him for that. Imagine if you didn't bring him. You may have won. You're going to taunt him a little bit. He's gonna go, hey, you could have won if you didn't bring him. But I'm joking, of course. He did good play with him. He did good. He did very good. I gave him a pat on the head. He is a chariot, basically. Yeah, he's like a slow moving chariot. He's basically there just to harass back line. I still think like a Stegodon does his job and better in every way, but it is more expensive, of course. It is more expensive. Oh, Energize might be back as well. We might get one more best of 3 after this. I'll have to see. If this goes all the way, we probably won't be able to. I don't know. My voice is starting to die, and I've got to do like 6 additional videos this week or something, or I have to do them in advance. So I may do those as some replays afterwards. I think we've been streaming already for like, what, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, like 2.5 hours maybe? So by the time this is done, it could well be free. Oh, let's get a screen blocker for you guys. Ooh, there we go. I love your passion for the pistol. I love it. I love the passion. Oh no! No, what have we done? Is this Chaos v Chaos? Time to see who has the big axes, Hanadins. Oh no, it's Chaos v Chaos. Gary. We needed double though. Gary and Barry. Chaos v Chaos. This is going to be certainly something. What about the Triceratops that shoots lightning that strikes so often? How good is that? So a lot of people disagree with me. I think it's amazing. The thunderous one, it's very expensive, obviously, for what it does. It can do so much work. And, like, I don't know if it's just me. I guess, like, because I'm so committed to the Lizardmen, it always strikes the enemy for me. Everyone's like, it's random. You do so much damage to your own team. I'm like, I don't think you do. It seems like striking the enemy more than friends. At least for me. But that might just be because I'm in tuned with the beast, you know? In tuned with the magical beast. I think he means the thunderous one, Aloys, but the Engine of the Gods can be decent with a net. It's a fun gambit. Alright, I've got a coolest build than the one before. Ready when you are. Oh, okay. Alan's taunting his opponent, man. He's gone pure swag. Pure swagger. Hopefully it's a cool build. I can see epic music behind me right now. Epic music. I think I'm still letting those know. I think I may have stopped by then. But would you be able? Oh no, they're loading into the game. Oh, thank God it didn't crash. Load into the game or was off the game? What, Coops, you talking about the Engine of the Gods or the Thunderous one there? You think it's better against VP? Let's set that down and pop in. Oh, against my account, sorry. VP accounts. It can do a lot of work, like both those things can. So let's delve into this. So we have the blue Chaos, which is Flying Taco, needs to try and scrap his way back into this game after having lost that first game, unfortunately. He's kind of a Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Shadows on Steed. Now, this is not something you see terribly often, in fact, ever. If you see a Sorcerer Lord, they tend to be on a Manticore, but it's certainly very cool. I love the staff as well. That's very cool symbolic there. He's coming in with the Pendulum, as well as Melkoff's Mystifying Miasma. Main battle line is a load of Chaos Marauders dotted all the way along, as well as a load of great weapons. We also have Chaos Armored Trolls, which is pretty cool to see. We have the Soul of Damnation, regiment-renowned Hell Cannon, and a load of Horse Masters and Horsemen, including Gore Beast Chariots and Chaos Warhounds with Poison. Now for the Raid and Evil Chaos, kind of really reveling in the evilness, is Hanadins, and he has Chaos Warriors of Great Weapons in the front with Chaos Marauders. A lot of them actually, a load of Chaos Warriors of Great Weapons, including double Chaos Trolls himself, but not armored ones. He also has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of Skirmish Cav up against the 3 of Taco, so he certainly has the advantage there in range. We have a Chaos Pharaoh Manticore up in the skies, and Archeon the Everchosen on horseback, and he's going to be a massive thorn in the side for the forces of Taco. I feel like the Everchosen is going to be so good against this build. So good. I mean, the Soul of Damnation is going to be a pain. I'm really interested to see how the Gore Beast Chariots perform. They can do some really awesome work for sure. That pony, though? Oh, you're talking about Everchosens? Is it all like pony? Glorious Mirror Match is going to be cool. Yeah, the Thunderous one's good against V, so yeah, I agree, man. It can do work. It can do work. Big Hell Giant Cannon Shot is going to come in and completely miss, unfortunately. Good luck, have fun by both players. Love to see it. And now, basically, the job of Taco's Skirmish Cav here is just to make your opponent's Skirmish Cav waste as much ammo as possible. so it can't be used on your trolls and other such units. Because he should have an advantage in the monster mash, because he has the armored trolls rather than the regular ones. And of course he has the support as well of the Chaos Sorcerer of Shadows. Skirmish Cav may continue to rain in a lot of shots here onto the Horseman. Should be enough to break this unit. With the support of the Hell Cannon, you would think. It looks like it may go down. So actually the Skirmish fight. Look at this. Outnumbered. Outnumbered. Only the 3 units of Skirmish Cav up against... Oh, maybe there's any... Oh, no, there's more. They've kind of gone aside. So they tried taking on the Horsemen of Flying Taco one-on-one in the front, and they've come off really bloodied and bruised here from handed Skirmish Cav. He does have the rest of his Skirmish Cav, though, elsewhere. He's trying to wrap around and shut down the Soul of Damnations, which is continuing to launch shot after shot in, aiming at the Skirmish Cavalry itself. Now, the Chariots did move in. They need to be careful. They're getting pinned in by the Ever-Chosen, and that is not a place any of us want to be. Pinned in by the Chosen, who does actually take a load of Hell Cannon shot to the face there. Going to free up the Gorbeast Chariot, so you need to be careful. They can really get dragged down by the Ever-Chosen with his mighty swings of his blade. The Command Squad has jumped in on some Marauders, not a terrible target, but likewise it could be shot and rampaged, which would be really bad news for it. Gorbeast Chariots are seeking refuge away from the Ever-Chosen right now amongst Marauders. It is not going too good for them though, and they're taking massive damage right now. However, still all 3 models, which got to count for something, and they are buying time for the Ever-Chosen to get hit more and more by that pesky Hell Cannon in the back. We do have more Chaos Chariots, this time for Hanadins, ploughing through the front of the Chaos Marauders, doing some pretty decent work, and running them over. Horsemen continue to launch shots in. Ark and the Ever-Chosen doing a fantastic job as well. Manticore going to commit to the fight against the Armored Chaos Trolls. Archeon leading his own Trolls up against the Great Weapon Marauders in the front. And get a really nasty Burning Head or Pendulum going down. It is a Pendulum, and oof, that is nasty work there. Doing some decent damage, and then a Burning Head gets down just further down the line on the Chaos Marauders by Archeon as a bit of a retaliation there. Now, the cavalry for Taco is still very strong, actually, and the cavalry for Hanadins is pretty good. It's just a little bit more out of the fight. How they should have enough about them to drag down here the Gorbeast Chariots, but the Ever-Chosen overextends, trying to hunt down the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, not being patient there, and it's now being circle-jerked by a Chaos Trolls, as well as hunted and harassed by the Horse Masters. Big push coming from Hanadins, and I think he does have the game by the throat. He needs to make sure not to lose the Maestro himself, Arkan, the Ever-Chosen there, and take out the key targets, such as these Gorbeast Chariots, who are actually going to get a charge on the Horsemen, which isn't too bad. They do get counter-charged quite a bit as well, and a lot of them are starting to get shut down. And in the back, you can see the Manticore looking to bring the pain to the Soul of Damnations. However, there is the Chaos Sorcerer nearby and the Horse Masters. Archeon is quite busy. He does pop Slayer of Kings, and he's currently trying to take on a load of Trolls. I don't know how well that's going to go for him. Isolated and alone like this, he could really struggle. His own Trolls and Chariots needs to get in here and break the leadership of the armored ones. Looks like he does get free, but not before taking a load of javelins directly to the face. Chaos Manticore in the back has been outdone, trying to take down the Soul of Damnation. Cascading Fire Cloak goes down on it, but it may break before that actually takes effect fully, and it's just about holding on in there. Looking very danger low, though. One more big swipe, and it's probably going to be broken. Not sure if that was worth the magic there, although it is just about holding on, at least for now. Very close game. Hanlon still has a load of skirmish in the back, which needs to get forward and start engaging with the enemy. And the Soul of Damnation is doing so much work right here. Unfortunately, the Manticore, he wasn't able to really get a big hit on the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. And in the center, it looks like the Trolls are running for both sides, fleeing in both directions. We're also going to see a Spirit Leech, Melkov's Mystifying Miasma, sorry, on the Chaos Warriors, who are continuing to drive forward. Now, Archon can easily slap up the Supreme Sorcerer if he can actually catch him in combat, and that's kind of a big problem for him right now. Hail Cannon Shot takes down yet one more Chaos Marauder, drags him down. A very close game so far. We have troops rallying for both forces at the moment. Chaos Manticore is being chased off here by Taco's Horsemen. The Ever-Chosen does get to grips with the Soul of Damnation, looking to bring its reign of terror to an end. And the Horsemen of Handen's getting really aggressive, trying to drag down the Gorbeast Chariot. And we are about to see a big fat burning head catching out the Horsemen of Taco, doing some really lovely work. And it's going to go all the way through onto this other unit as well, who desperately tried to get out of there. Big breaks for both sides there in the middle. Man, this game is absolutely crazy so far. The Ever-Chosen does push off some more Trolls, but decides to retreat backwards and try to finish off this Hell Cannon. He's tried it for 2 times already. 3rd time's a charm, you'd think. Trying to break its bones as the Trolls do countercharge the Chaos Trolls here. Arkel might want to go over there and support his boys a little bit. It looks like they are going to get Cascade and Fire Cloak, though, to buff them up nice and juicy. Incredibly close game. We have more Trolls from Hanadins coming back here. His own warriors are getting slowed by Melkov's misdefined miasma, and he's kind of slowly starting to lose the skirmish game. He has broken off some horsemen, may be able to rally his manticore, but it does look unlikely. Warhounds and horsemen fighting horsemen there, troll on troll carnage, and it does look like the Chaos Trolls of Hanadins were victorious due to that well-placed cascading fire cloak, and now the Everchosen does go in after the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, who's actually a decent melee combatant with the support of some Chaos Trolls. However, the Chaos Warriors originally were kind of shrouded in magic, have shrugged it off and able to now get engaged with the enemy, and it looks like Taco's Trolls are indeed breaking. The Sorcerer is trying to cycle charge the Everchosen to death, but it's going to be tough, particularly Slayer Kings popped, and I think Hanadins is in a commanding position now in the later stages of this battle. Chaos Chariots are rolling forward, the Hell Cannon barely stabilizing right now. We do see yet another Melkov's going down. Archaon is demanding a challenge. You shall stand and fight me, or you shall die. I mean, either way, you're probably going to die. Chaos Sorcerer Lord breaks, and Hanadins takes the series 2-0 against Flying Taco. What a game. What a game. That was insane. Korn approves. Korn definitely approves of that carnage. That was wild. That was wild. GG, well played by both players. That was a classic. That was a big fat classic. You can get a stand or die. You got like the last Chaos Dwarf trying to hold his ground. Brother to brother, back to back, or they're trying to be back to back. But oh no, he got vomited. His head got ripped off, and then a troll vomited into his remains. That is not a good way to go. Not a good way to go whatsoever. And bye-bye, the Chaos Dwarfs go. Rest in peace, my friends. That was crazy stuff, man. That was crazy stuff. Well played to both these lads. A fantastic set of games. Taco went out like a champ, but unfortunately does lose that series 2-0. 1,000 value on its caster. Infantry in the mid to low hundreds damage value-wise, as you'd expect. Gorby's Chariot, 820 damage value, 30 kills, not too bad. Good use of his cavalry as well. Despite being outnumbered, got some pretty decent work done there. 600, 740, and 770 damage value. Just shy of 1,000 on the Soul of Damnation, and his trolls got in the 500 range. Whereas the weaker Trolls of Hanadins actually did better, with 919 and 891 damage value, though they were supported magically by the Everchosen. 900 damage value on the Chaos Pharaoh Manticore. The cavalry got in the mid to low hundreds, not too terrible there. Chaos Warriors put up a decent fight all across the board. But the Everchosen was a real standout here, getting 2,387 damage value and 46 kills. Thanks for the games, dear Eating Fins. That was awesome. You're up. Oh no, we've been abandoned. Well played to the two lads there. They both put up an absolutely fantastic showing. So, boo, 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 boo. Awesome. I think Energize is now playing, but I can feel my voice down a little bit. We're going to probably bow out there, and I still need to do today's video anyway, and it's already 9 o'clock here, so expect a video out in about an hour's time. Make sure to come check that glorious, juicy video out, whatever it shall be. But it's been real. It's been awesome. Let's go see who's streaming. I know Logic was streaming earlier. Boo, 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 boo. So let's have a look at YouTube. And we can go on a little raid. If you guys aren't done yet, I can send you off. It looks like Logic is still streaming. And Turin is as well. Looks like Turin is streaming, though, some Age of Empires. So I'm going to send you over to go have a little look at Mr. Logic. It looks like Energize is actually playing on his channel, which is pretty cool. Although it does say... Oh, no, he just got his scoreboard wrong. That's fine. So here's a link, guys. If you want to see more action from the same event, just playing on Inticity's Ladder and so forth. Here's a link to Logic. He's currently streaming Get a Best of 3 series between Energized and the Crowfather, who I can't remember who the Crowfather is. It is a player I've heard of quite a bit before, but should be some good fun. So make sure to go over yell quack, demand bread from Logic. He is hiding it. He does have bread. So go hunt him down and demand it. And you guys have been awesome as always. I'm going to update the scoreboard for one last time here, just to reflect the score of Hanadins taking down Taco. Boop, 2-0 there. And that was some awesome stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, peace, peace. And as always, stay awesome.